Welcome to episode 11 from Beirut. Yes, we're live in the war zone, and joining me as usual is Matt.
Hello.
And Stuart.
Hello!
How's it going, lads? It's banging tunes out there, man.
Bang down tonight. Those rebels are unleashing fury upon us. Unleashing fury.
So hopefully we'll still have Matt by the end of the podcast.
He's in the front lines.
It's alright.
He's in the
on,
front.
head down. No over the top yet. All good.
Get to the bunker, Matt, quick.
Aye. That volley just missed you.
Okay, lads. How is everyone this month?
Good, thank you.
I'm sorry to hear Connor won't be here this month due to his poor son's illness, so hope he gets better soon.
Yeah, all the best, Colin.
So anyway.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Okay, so Matt, what have you been up to?
Oh, me? Not a great deal, to be honest. The usual thing, struggling with a coal fire, DIY, and a little bit of gaming. Little bit being the optimum word, I think. So, plodding along.
Well settled in then.
Oh, something like that. But once we got the coal fire lit the first night, you think, oh, isn't this romantic? The novelty wore off real fast with that thing.
As it does with most things.
Yeah.
So,
Like marriage.
So Stuart, what have you been up to? You young fella.
Just been me. No trying to tell 40-year-olds how to live their life, apparently. As they've been saying in other podcasts, I'm too old to be taking orders from anybody. Quack. You know what I mean? And generally just kind of
40 plus.
I don't know, just old fuckers.
I wish I was 40 again.
I don't need to prove myself to anybody. Only God can judge me. And God's laughing at you. But
as is everybody.
You know, there was a queue to laugh at you. You know what I mean? We were charging $2 a gander, so
I'd be a rich man.
well, that's true. So yeah, other than that, not a lot else happening.
Good. Okay. Well, let's get on with the show, as they say. What have you been playing? Well, Stuart, what have you been playing?
I have been playing as Matt's getting assaulted by another volley there of enemy
God,
fire.
love you. Keep your head down, Matt. Keep your head down.
Just to put it in context,
I bet you
Matt's,
say that to all the boys, Colm.
I think we should highlight that Matt's neighbours are trying to kill him with fireworks tonight. It is actually November the 29th, but where Matt lives, it's actually a time warp, and they think it's November the 4th, which is actually meant to be the 5th. But I forgot it was the 5th of November. But anyway, yeah, so they're letting off fireworks. If you hear a few, that's where the scenario is. You can hear them right now. It's a beautiful rhythmic remedy to speak to.
It certainly is, and a lot of fireworks.
Yes,
Must have been stashing the fucking things up for months.
I was going to say, much money do they have? If they got a bonfire with £10 notes as well? Cause
more than me.
They've been getting for the last 20 minutes, you know.
We're taking bets if it's still going by the end of the show.
Yep. I'm expecting a big bang, a final hurrah, some kind of major explosion, possibly blow up a hut or something. I don't know.
Aye.
Anyway, games. What have I been playing? I've been playing a vast array of things this month. First thing I did this month was play the free games with gold game this month, which was Numa, Breath of Life. It's a bit like Portal with a portal gun. It's a first-person puzzler. You solve puzzles. It aims for Thomas Was Alone in the way it's narrated, because it's narrated by a entity that talks to you, but instead of being Thomas Was Alone, it kind of ends up being Thomas Was a Prick, because the narrator just grinds at the end of the day, and it's really annoying, and it is what it is. It was free. It finished it in 3 hours, give or take, and they wanted £16 originally for it. Yeah,
wow.
That's a lesson I'm glad I didn't have to learn.
Was it enjoyable?
It was 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was what it was. I liked the concept of some of the puzzles. Nothing was too taxing, nothing was too difficult. But like I said, the narrator just narrates. The conceptual idea of the stories are quite interesting stuff. It's just the guy, like I say, he aims for the kind of narration that Thomas Was Alone has, but he just doesn't land it, and in failing to land it, he just becomes really annoying and really irritating, and that was him getting shot at with a cannon as well there. So yeah, pass, moving on. Also played the first Tales of the Borderlands because it went free. So we were going free to download, as every free to play subscription based Telltale game does with a series. I played for it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really want to buy the season pass now and play it, which is in the Black Friday sale on Xbox Live for £8, and I haven't because yes, I am on a challenge, I know. So I think that's maybe one to pick up in the new year. But I've also got Walking Dead there.
Is it typical Borderlands, or is it more story driven like Telltale games?
It's
Jesus, that's some fucking amount of bleeding fireworks
Yeah.
coming up there.
Are you sure your fence isn't on fire? Can we have an on-the-site report?
Are you sure it's not your desk? You're not moving your desk, man, are you?
My desk wouldn't make that sort of noise. How rude!
I told you
my
what it
new
is.
desk. My new desk. Sound of
I told you-
stroking. My new desk.
I've told you what it is. He's got a microwave and he's making popcorn. He's been making lots of popcorn because he was like, I quite fancy some popcorn tonight in the microwave. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah.
That's it.
But in this moment of silence, yeah, Borderlands. It's good. It's if you like Borderlands and you know the characters and stuff. If no, it's a good story. It's quite funny. It's not as grim as The Walking Dead, and I really enjoyed it. Though, as I was saying as well, I've got The Walking Dead to play because it was free with gold last month, and I could have played The Walking Dead or I could have played that, which was only the one episode, and I decided to play that, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good, enjoyable, light-hearted fun. Made me laugh and smile.
Alright.
After that jaunt, I played The Evil Within. Finally got round to it, after I'm whining, moaning and scraping about it all this time. But 3/4 of the way through it, it's good. It's what it is. It's
Resident Evil type game.
yeah, more Resident Evil 4 than Resident Evil anything else kind of thing. Kind of over the shoulder gun game. Not too hard, not too long. Really just kind of, it's more actiony than what it's got any right to be, I think. Which is
It's not scary then, no?
No, it does have its moments. But it's more Dead Space 3 than it is Dead Space 1. If you've played Dead Space, you'll know what I mean. It's alright. It's, if you can get it for £7, £8 in a sale, I'd say pick it up and give it a bash. Again,
story good? Or?
It's a Japanese game, so the story's a bit kind of here, there, everywhere. I kind of have an idea of what's happening at the moment. The baddies, the bosses in it are pretty well created and stuff, and they kind of do well. But the actual overall kind of gameplay, minute to minute, it's alright. It's not bad. I think if you like Resident Evil 4, you'll enjoy that. Or if you're looking for something in that kind of vein to play, it's definitely worth a look. But again, it's like, I've got all the DLC for it because I got the season pass last Christmas, and I've not even touched any of that because obviously I've not finished the main story. So I need to plough through the main story and then start playing the DLC, which itself is quite interesting because you get to play as the keeper in one of them, which is like one of the bigger bosses in the game. So I need to kind of get that all done and then start playing as the keeper, which should be a delightful romp at some point. Then I played the game that I put on Twitter, and everybody, even the best one, was The Irishman Fell for the Trap. we set a trap, a beautiful trap it was. It was a big piece of cheese on a plate with a big rope. And I was like, as everybody's got the fever, everybody's got the Fallout fever. Everybody, Fallout. And with backwards compatibility becoming adequate this month, I started baiting Twitter, going, I'm going to play your Fallout, and the Irishman fell hook, line and Von Sinker for the trap, and was like, oh, you bought Fallout 4, oh, and I was like, no, I'm playing Fallout 3, you fuckwit. So yeah, have never played Fallout 3.
Hold on a minute, somebody else told me about Fallout 4, so I just went on it without checking my sources.
I'm sitting there with a box copy of Fallout 3 in my hand, taking pictures of it installing on the Xbox. So like, this is Fallout 3 in the box. So I played Fallout 3 whenever they played Fallout 4. This is the way it is.
It's the first time to play it?
Yeah, first ever time. I've had the game since launch, so that was what, 7 years I've had it? 7 and a bit year.
Many years have you put into it?
Not many.
No.
Not many.
Think you'll finish it?
Maybe, I don't know. It's alright, I'm just pondering on it. I'm not doing anything major, but It's just, that's what it is. It's my first outing in that world. It's okay. I think because I've heard so much about it and stuff and that, there's no really much wonder left in it. You know what I mean? The whole I missed the boat. Like, you listen to people talk about Fallout 4 and they're like, oh, I went here and I found this and I went here and I found that and I just wandered about blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, that's fair dues, but I'm doing it in a game that's like 7 years old and there's infinite videos, there's infinite reviews and all that shit and online, so there is nothing that's not been seen, if you know what I mean. Whereas in the wave of 4, everybody's fucking, oh, Fallout 4, whoa, and fair dues to them, but at the same time, it's kind of like, if it's your thing, it's your thing, you know what I mean? And finally, I sunk my teeth into Halo 5, which was a fine game to play. Yeah, it's a fine game.
You finish it?
Of course I have.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're doing legendary now.
Come on. Come on. Fucking, who you talking to, mate? Who you talking to? Yeah, I know how long I've played that game for to date, which is quite interesting.
How long?
Would you like to take bets, gentlemen? How much time have I put into Halo 5?
I'd say you're going into treble figures anyway.
I've got it down to days and hours, if that helps you. It's not major, but it's enough.
Okay, I'd say about 4.5 days.
It's close.
Close. 4.5 and one more than Colm.
Feck you.
Nah, sadly I've only played it for 3 hours, 3 days, 8 minutes, 8 hours. So
Colm wins. The Price is Right. Bollocks.
Yeah. It's a beautiful price. Yeah, it's a mixed bag, I think. A lot of people have played it. A lot of people have said that they don't like it because they feel the story isn't connected and they feel that they don't know stuff about it and stuff. And my honest retort to these people is, if you imagine watching a trilogy and just watching the middle of the film, if you watch middle of a trilogy, you're not going to really know who X is and who Y is or who Z is or who thing is. And I think Halo 5 knows it's a middle of a trilogy. It knows that it's a setup piece. I think a lot of people expected it to be more encompassing than what it actually came at.
Do you think they should release a middle of a trilogy, as you've put it then, for the first big Halo release on the Xbox One?
Well, it can't be anything other than that, but because 4's the start and 4 set up it. This is the problem. But then the Halo 3 was the end of the trilogy. So you either had the choice of having the end of the trilogy on the Xbox One or the middle of the trilogy on the Xbox One. It would have been nice if it was a new trilogy, but we were never going to get that. You know what I mean? As a fan, and as a fan who knows what he needs to know, I really enjoyed it. I feel things that annoyed me were one of the bigger enemies in the game that's portrayed as one of the major enemies, is a zealot general. He dies in a cutscene, but I've read comics and stuff where he's the big bad, and I was like, oh, we're going to fight him, and they dispatch him in a cutscene, which is really irritating because I would have liked to have fought him in game. That's by the by. But then as well, through reading the comics, I have also filled in backstory and stuff that people wouldn't know. Because if you came to this game and didn't know who he was just a guy. He's just some guy. You know what I mean? Whereas I knew he was that guy. You know what I mean? Instead of this guy, he's that guy. The same can be said for quite a few bits in the game. And I think it's just a case of, quite rightly so, it's a weird one. Because it's Halo 5, it's no Halo 2 or Halo 1, it's Halo 5. And it's the fact it's the 5th game in the series. I think it's a brave move to do what they did. But at the same time, I think it's the right move to do what they did, because they're supporting their fan base. And I know Tom, Dick and Harry's pissed off because they didn't know fuck all about the story, but you can't please everybody. Because if they would have went and held your hand, I don't think the fans would have appreciated it as much. And it also shows that it's an all-encompassing piece of media within an overarching media cycle. So you've got the game that's supported by motion picture movies, yes, with men with pianos, the comic books, the actual books, the physical novelizations. It all intertwines beautifully, and that's where I think the strength is in Halo. Problem is, but 89% of people who play that won't give a flying fuck about all that stuff, and we'll maybe read one or two pieces of this extended media. I think it's a case of they might need to rope it in.
Surely there's a higher ratio of Halo fans out there than 15%. Like,
a lot of people don't read the comics. A lot of people don't read the
Well,
comic
this
books.
is my point. I mean, because a lot of what you've just said is about tied into people knowing what's going on in Halo. Let's imagine someone's been a PlayStation person for all their days, and they suddenly think, do you know what? The Xbox One, that's the console I want to go. And then they've thought to themselves, well, Halo seemed a popular series, so I'm going to get the new Halo on the new Xbox console, and let's go. Now, if they're obviously, unless they are someone that thinks, no, I'm going to make sure I've read up and everything, but from what you're saying, your enjoyment almost seems tied to knowing exactly what's going on. Imagine, I know it's difficult for you, if you blanked all that out, is it a good game even if you didn't know what was going on?
Mechanically, it sounds. See, I was going to say the flip side of that is somebody who'd seen the adverts for the game saying Master Chief. Yes, that's the teeth that are inside Master Chief's head. The Master Chief. No, they've seen the advertising campaign saying Master Chief is a traitor and that he's dead. Oh, that was bullshit. It was all bullshit because none of it had very little relevance to it. So a lot of people played it and they were like, "Oh, it billed as he was this traitor." To be honest, it's a chase movie for the first 3/4 of it, and then it becomes a buddy movie at the end. That's how to look at it. If you were to play that, Matt, or Connor was to play it, you'd put it in, you'd get enough knowledge, you'd be like, Team X are after Team Y, because Team Y are defected, and then basically the story goes for there. So, realistically, you will walk away at the end, you'll be spun a yarn, but at the end, like I say, it's the middle of a trilogy, so it does leave you hanging for more. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a spoiler on the fact that it's the middle of a trilogy, i.e. it's Empire Strikes Back material. You know what I mean? Just Luke Skywalker's not hanging off a pole at the end of this one on Cloud City, and he hasn't found out that his dad's his dad. But it's a weird one. I enjoyed it. Is it one of my favourite ones? I don't know yet. It's too early. I think at the end of the day, only time will tell, and I think at the end of the day, it's got a lot of...
I find it quite interesting for someone that's so heavily invested in Halo that everything you've just spoke about with your time with Halo 5 has been story and plot based and not gameplay based.
Fundamentally, other than slight tweaks, the game is identical. The mechanics are identical.
So that's what I mean. So if you're someone that isn't fondly in love with Halo, you're going to come out away.
It's a hell of a good shooter. It's a hell of a good shooter.
I'm not saying it's a poor shooter, but you're just going to, if you're not heavily invested in the story, you're going to come away from thinking, it's another Halo.
Yeah, you're just going to turn around and go, oh, the story was, I'll play multiplayer. You know what I mean? It sticks to that core principle that Halo had, that was, how do you make a game? Bungie said, they went, how do you make a game? We have 30 seconds of fun. What happens? You have 30 seconds of fun in your game, and then you reproduce it time and time again. That's the whole concept of Halo. Halo's concept is, you have the Master Chief, and you have a group of grunts and one elite. You kill the elite, the grunts scatter and panic. You kill the grunts, the elite becomes more aggressive and charges you. That's the fun. Halo, it's about a tactic. It's rock paper. It's basically really digitalized rock, paper, scissors. For every combination of weapons you have, there's a combination that will beat you. This is online and offline. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the gameplay comes from. The gameplay, they tweak it enough now so you can mantle jump and you can do special drop, like dive bomb moves and stuff. But it doesn't set the world on fire. It doesn't change Halo. It's still a shooter. It's still a shooter where you shoot people and you run about maps picking up sniper rifles and rockets. And it's a very competent shooter. Is it better than, say, Destiny? I think... if you're looking at Destiny Year 1, I think it's a superior product than that. If you're looking at Destiny Year 2, I haven't played Year 2 because Year 1 burnt me out. And I can't argue, I can't say, you know what I mean? But for me, pound for pound, Halo is a bit more solid shooter in the way it carries its mechanics. And I think Halo 5 is just another execution of that. Now, the argument is, come Halo 6, will the mechanics ever change? I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think they'll change them. So... nah, I don't really know.
I know you can think to yourself the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's for someone that, I mean, I've enjoyed Halo games. I haven't fallen from as deeply as you, but you know, the thought of another Halo, I'm not saying I'd never play it. I'd be quite interested to play it, but it doesn't set my world alight if for someone on mere gameplay, if you see what I mean. Yeah,
I can understand that, and I can see where you're coming from. And like I say, as the theory was there, was the campaign story driven. It's a story campaign. It's no like a campaign that doesn't have anything to it. If you, I think that's the problem. Is the story knows that it's part of a trilogy, so that story is that middle section of the trilogy. It's the middle act, and stuff happens and things evolve and stuff. But fundamentally, from point B to point B, if you've not played 4 or previous, then you'll be kind of like, what? And I get that, but I enjoyed the story. I really did enjoy it. I felt they could have handled certain points better. There's a fight scene in it that's a cutscene. Again, it would have been nice to have it as a played out fight where I'm trying to think. Legacy of Kain, Defender, the final installment in the Legacy of Kain series had it where you would fight as Kain, but then once you beat Raziel so far, you would switch into Raziel and fight Kain. It was like a fight, but you fought both sides of it in single player. Really cool concept. I would have liked to have seen that in Halo. I would have liked to have seen the ability of this fight scene to play one, and then as you were going to get the final blow, you switch to the other, if you know what I mean. And then it goes to, I think that's a thing that they need to look at, is dealing with major points in it. And I don't mean boss battles, I mean like, how do you handle a really cool cutscene so it's actually interactive, so it's not just I'm watching something, you know. And I think that was a problem with it. It's dialed down a lot of the actual moment to moment combat, and the fact that the big set piece combat, they've just put a lot of it into cutscenes. And I think as me personally, as a gate into it and that's disappointing for me, because I would have liked to have fought these fights myself, you know. But that's Halo 5, isn't it? That's somebody writing an email there to Bungie. I don't know why they're writing it to Bungie, but they're writing an email to 343 complaining to them.
Catch my
Matt's chibbing his old pal for Games Master.
Me and Dominic were like that.
Just you know, I mean, the Christmas cards were in. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've played this month. I've played another game, which I'm sure I'll be forced to reveal later. But yeah, and I've played the other game for almost 2 days as well. So between the other game and this game, I've played 5 days solid, these 2 games. So all to be revealed soon. Back to you, Connor, who isn't here. Back to you, Colm, who is here.
I am, just about. So, thank you, Stuart. As usual, you managed to talk more than I talk, so that's always a good thing, because, you know, if we hadn't got you, this podcast would be very short.
Oh, no, Matt would just sit and be saying good morning all the time.
To myself.
Good morning.
Someone cut that.
Okay, so Matt, what have you been playing?
Unsurprisingly, Hearthstone. Lots and lots of Hearthstone, but nothing more to be said for that. Now, in previous episodes, I think I'd mentioned that I'd attempted to play MOBAs. I tried to play Dota 2, gave up on that. I tried to play League of Legends, gave up on that. So, Blizzard, as my love for Hearthstone shows, they seem to get their hooks in me very easily. Hearthstone is a card game, and where I found Magic the Gathering, which is probably the most well-known one, impenetrable, they've made it a card game that appeals to me. And Heroes of the Storm is the MOBA that Blizzard have made, and again, that's got its hooks into me. It seems to strip away all the obtuse and bits that make you scratch your head, and although I'm terrible at it, and I am terrible at it, I still have a reasonable grasp of what's going on. I'm a grasp enough to know that I'm doing poorly, but it is, after my first 3 or 4 games, horribly beaten, but you're learning, whereas with the other 2 games that I tried on this front, I came away thinking I've spent hours with these and I'm no better or knowing why I'm so bad than I was when I first started. So it's early days for me for that, but I think I'll plod on with it. It's all free to play. Yeah, it finally seems to be the MOBA that I'll enjoy. So we'll have a go at that. But I'm sure when someone eventually swears at me over the mic or something like that, I might cry and give up on that. So that's a.
Did you watch any BlizzardCon?
No, because I'm being on the Year of Shame. If I watched any of that, they may as well, like a Steam sale used to do, they may as well have lifted money straight out of my wallet. So deliberately closed my eyes, put my fingers in my ears when that was going on, because there's all sorts of card backs that came out for Hearthstone and skins and all that stupid stuff that I would spend a fortune on. So the less I know about BlizzCon and the like, the better. Other this month, I loved the shit out of Borderlands. When that came out originally, I sunk so many hours into that. So rather unusually, Borderlands 2 has been sat on my 360's hard drive forever and a day. So I've booted that up and I've played a lot of that. It's Borderlands. You know exactly what you're getting if you played the first one. Borderlands 2 is more of the same. But I'm not quite enjoying it as much. I can tell it's a better game and it's more varied and the characters are better and everything seems more enjoyable. But I don't know. I find in Borderlands 1, I was picking up a new weapon out of every crate and it was always changing my weapons out constantly. In this, half the weapons are just instantly sold because they're not as good as what I want. And a lot of the enemies seem very similar, so only a couple of weapons are good against them, so you tend to hang on to those. So still enjoying it because I like a shooter with those kind of RPG elements to it, so I do enjoy it, but it's not hitting me like Borderlands 1 did. But I'm plodding on my own, so maybe if it was something that I was playing with a party of people, maybe I'd get some more out of it. But I'll see it through to the end, and the humour still resonates with me. It does make me chuckle, but it's not there yet. And the last game is another game that seems to induce my motion sickness. Again, one that sat on my PS3 hard drive for ages, Malicious. And I hate the little tune on the, you know when you scroll through a game on the PS3 and it will bring up the wallpaper on the PS3 and it plays this little tune. It's been irritating the shit out of me for months. So I thought I'll get this done and out the way. It seems to be some sort of game where you're in an arena and have to kill lots of things to get combos up so you can hit a boss, etc, etc. But the camera is awful and it's really button mashy. I'm sure there are people thinking, well, it's all combos and you can do this, that and the other, but it seems mind-numbing. I'm that stubborn. I will still see it through to the end because apparently it's not a long game, but I'm glad that was free. I'd have been mortified if I'd paid any money on that. So that's been my month.
But Hearthstone, what's the appeal for Hearthstone?
Hearthstone, I would, since I've been a kid, like football stickers in albums and the fact of collecting cards and you can get shiny cards and etc. It just, that kind of thing where you're collecting stuff is, I'm sold on that almost straight away. It's why I'm kind of glad I missed the boat on Destiny. Because if I got Destiny, it's the sort of game where I would just plow hours into it. You see people moaning about on Destiny that it's a grind and they can spend hours and hours and not get the thing they want for some weird reason, some masochistic reason. That sort of thing appeals to me. So the thought of grinding I find quite an enjoyable thing. That's weird.
Just a little bit bumping, right?
Easy, R. Kelly.
Maybe you should get Dungeon Siege 3 then.
Well, that you're interrupting
Sorry.
one of the next sections later.
I was going to say he'll never leave him. What? He's moved platforms, sold his soul. You know what I mean? All that shit. Still fucking peddling Dungeon Siege. I bet he's still got 4 copies of Dungeon Siege 3. Couldn't he get rid of them? Just keeps them. Why? Who knows? He just keeps a hoard of them.
No, that kind of, Diablos, all those sort of games that involve doing the same thing over and over. And I've probably moaned about doing that in other games, but anything grindy and loot based, sold. I will play that until a long time.
Nice. Yeah. So that's where your Hearthstone.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I like card games. It's that kind of thing. But the whole thought of there are cards and you need to collect them, and then there are shiny cards that don't do anything different, but they look different, and they all go in a virtual sticker back, and then you can get different card. Oh, it's. I mean, I imagine it. I was never a. The name of the game, but all the games with hats or different skins.
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, Team Fortress 2. That kind of thing. I always laughed about it. Like, why would you want hats? But then here's me going, I haven't got that card back. Maybe if I fly over to China and watch this tournament, then maybe I can get that card back because that'll look impressive.
China?
Yeah, there's certain tournaments in China that gave certain people certain card backs, and I'm sure if I daren't, but I'm sure if I went on eBay, there's probably people selling codes for these card backs that cost a fortune. I daren't look. I'm gonna look now.
Oh, that'll end well. That'll end really well.
That's a rabbit hole I really don't want to go down. But
this for a man who's got a Skylanders collection.
Yes.
This man who's got the Skylanders collection knows what limited edition Skylanders can run. He's going to look at DLC codes for fucking cards. Let's just say I know how it'll end, but hey, you know what I mean, let's
yeah, I mean,
let's have some fun.
it's that kind of thing. Anything that seems to involve a collection. I mean, maybe moving into this new house has been a blessing because I don't have the room for any of that crap now.
Were you a Pokemon fan?
No.
Collecting cards, like?
No, I wouldn't. I would have been if I'd had any money when that craze was going.
Were you a Magic of the Gathering fan?
No, but it was one of those games where I kind of thought that really, really would appeal to me. But it's not an instant pickup. It's one where you have to sink some time into.
I also think Magic of the Gathering was quite a hard thing. I'm speaking from me at my age now, but I know I'm a fair bit younger than you. But it was quite a hard thing to kind of find somewhere that was doing it locally. It was very much a closet game for a long time. A lot of people played it in their closet, and it was a case of now it's like readily accepted, and people go. And there's actually a place that plays. I know Justin will be getting excited. I know Colm will be like, "Oh, the geekness! Oh, they're so geeky! Oh, you're so geeky!" But there's a place near me that does board game. It's a board game centre where you just go and play board games, and they do Magic Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a game that I really would enjoy, but it's what Blizzard are so good at is Magic the Gathering. I imagine would take a little while. You have to watch some games and really pick it up. With Hearthstone, within 10 minutes, you might not be very good, but you'll know exactly what's going on.
My argument with Hearthstone is I'm going to mention The Witcher. See The Witcher and how The Witchers get Ghent. I don't know if you know about Ghent.
I've heard about it. Yeah, it looked appealing. It'd be one of the prime reasons I'd buy that game.
Well, I was going to say that they did the virtual thing, and then obviously they did the exclusive deal with PlayStation, and they brought out 2 Gwent decks. So would you imagine also Magic of the Gathering, but Magic of the Gatherings worked a different way, because Magic of the Gathering was a game, a real game, and then obviously they've put it into the digital version, which is quite accurate, I hear, to the true game. Do you think Hearthstone will make the jump from digital to physical at any point? And I don't know if it has or hasn't it. I honestly don't know, because I'm not in that world.
For some of the effects the cards do, it would be virtually impossible now. I think in the early days of Hearthstone, it would have been difficult to keep track of, but it would have been possible. But I think now, because there's a certain amount of randomness to the effects of certain cards, I don't think there's any way to equate that to real life. But if someone tries, rest assured, I will pay money for it.
It's just because, talking about Magic, I know there was a card, I think it was called Confetti Cannon, and what happened, it was quite rare, because what happened was you got it and you tore it up and you threw it across the battlefield, and I know very little of it, but from what I understood or what I could hear was, if a piece of the torn up card landed on another card, then it was like an attack or something. I'm not in any way, shape or form an expert in this, but it sounded that kind of, I know how that whole, it sounded like that mechanic, having an actual physical card and having to tear it up, and then it becomes an attack, a one use card, you know?
Yeah, I think the problem that makes it difficult is certain cards that you play will cause a random effect on a certain other card. So how do you pick what has randomly happened? It would be possible, but it would be, you know, the beauty of Hearthstone is it's so instant. You know, if you're suddenly playing a card and then, right, we've got to roll a dice, and then you need to mark that card's done this and that and the other, and it would become such a pen and paper based exercise that the beauty and the simplicity of Hearthstone would be lost. So
also, I think maybe the transition from digital to physical might be a bit of killjoy as well, because whereas, you know, like obviously you put stuff out and things happen and people get excited, whereas if you go to physical, it doesn't happen. It's just the person putting a card on a nice mat or something, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the...
But I mean, it's, you know, Blizzard, when we look at, and I'll talk about one of their games in one of the later sections, but if you look at World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Diablo, here's, you know, StarCraft, they take these genres and they, in my mind, I'm sure there are people that have different opinions, but they strip out all the bullshit and just get to the core of what makes those genres of games really good. And they've Hearthstone has got me hook, line and sinker, and Heroes of the Storm I think is going to go the same way for me. It just so easy, cliched, but easy to pick up, difficult to master, and Blizzard do it to perfection time and time again.
Do you ever play Kingdoms of Amalur?
No, not yet. That's another one on the hard drive. So
that's a massive RPG that's actually owned by the state of New Jersey. But that's
I would love to play that, but when I saw this sort of hours that would sink, I thought I need to try and get a few more games in, to be honest.
Aye,
he says after starting Borderlands 2.
I put 60 hours into that game. Surprisingly, I know, yes.
Yeah, well, one of the more recent ones I completed was a Kami, so I kind of wanted to do ones that were a little more instant, so...
Fair enough. Thank you, Matt and Stuart.
Yes, that's the two people here. Anybody else here? Anybody? Oh, come on, shout out, fans, come on.
My home helper's here in the corner. How's it going? Anyway, so I've been playing Just Cause 2. Loving it.
Did you like that game from the beginning? Because for that, Just Cause 2 for me, I thought it was crap for about the first few hours, and then something just clicked, and then you suddenly realise what fun that game is.
Yeah, it took me... Because I had it for years, like, on my hard drive, and I just tried it for an hour or two, and then... just couldn't be arsed, and then I just came back to it there recently, and yeah, just love it. It doesn't punish you because you go to a undiscovered area, say, and you try and take over the town or whatever, and you have to blow up stuff and find stuff, and if you die, which happens to me quite a lot, it just saves at that point that where you were. It's not like GTA where you have to do the whole bloody mission again. That just pissed me off. I mean, the old GTA games anyway. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's just great fun. I'm 25 hours in, only 15% done or something like that.
It's the only open world game that's a lot of other people go, oh, I'm just playing this to dick about, etc. That's the only game that I've actually enjoyed doing that. Most of them I've like, oh, it's not that fun, I'll stick to the story. But that game was one I just like messing about. Yeah,
it's got a fun factor about it, alright, yeah. I don't know whether Stuart's played this many, many years ago, probably.
Yeah, I've played both of them. But
good.
Oh, I want that side, you know what I mean? Yeah. I've played Just Cause 2. What about Just Cause 1? What about Just Cause 1?
No.
Don't give a fuck about Rico. Nah, don't fucking care. Fucking Hispanic guy. What about Just Cause 3? Do you fancy Just Cause 3? Nah, no Just Cause 2. I'll Platinum Pro Edge Just Cause 2. I'm fucking bullshit, mate. You've given as much chance of seeing the end of fucking Just Cause 2 as I have a £1 million fall on my lap. Give it a moment. Hold on, let's check if that £1 million going to fall on my lap. My arms are out.
No, I didn't say I platinum Just Cause 2. I just said I played.
You'll no fucking finish it. You'll know.
I will.
Aye, and fucking Year of Shame will have been done for like 8 months.
Well,
but your Shame's fucking done anyway. Fucking joke.
I've been done a long time, so there you go.
You're fucking had a fork put in you, mate. You're fucking done.
You're fucking done.
You're fucking done. I don't take fucking orders from anybody. Fucking orders. Fucking no. I don't need to prove myself to anybody. Blah blah blah. Fucking.
So yeah, so I'm enjoying that anyway. Whether I don't care whether Stuart thinks so or not.
I don't think anything about it. I just think at the end of the day, you're pissing into the wind. We've told you about open world games, and they don't. It's like a junkie. You don't take that methadone. No, the methadone. Don't take that heroin. Here's some methadone. Slightly better for you. But it's like we went through the big stage mid season. We're calling this a season. Fuck it, mid season. And the whole you burnt yourself out in open world games. Fucking Just Cause is a fucking time sink, mate. An absolute time sink. And you don't have the discipline to handle it. I don't think. I think the novelty will wear off in a week or two.
Yeah, I must admit. I mean, I enjoyed messing about with that game, but I reached a point where I thought I've just got to stick to the story stuff because otherwise I will be so bored of this eventually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I'm at sticking to the story stuff.
Yeah.
If
you stick to the story stuff through to completion, you'll probably find like I did at the end. Enjoyed it, but I was glad it was done. If you the temptation on open worlds is to dick about a bit and get the collectibles, and there is so much in Just Cause 2 that you would burn out on it. So yeah, you're doing the right thing, Colm. Stick to the story, and you'll get your fill of Just Cause 2. But like Stuart says, if you try and platinum it, it will seem a grind.
I wasn't platinum. It didn't even say I was platinum.
But what I'm saying is, I know you're a case of you'll get in and then you'll start fucking going to caves that are unimportant and you'll open boxes and shit, and you'll soon find yourself still fucking about the same 4.5 square meters fucking bit of the map forever. You know what I mean? That's the kicker, and I think it's just a case of if you're going to do the story, then fair dues, go for the story. But I'd expect you to finish the story in a fortnight. That's me being generous, very generous.
Fortnight. Okay, I'll finish it in fortnight.
No, I mean actually, you've only got a week left because you've been probably playing it 2 weeks.
Okay, I'll finish in a week then.
Point to point.
Point to what?
Point.
No, just finish the story line.
Aye, point to point. Start of the story, end of the story. Point to point.
So anyway, So yeah, I'm still loving it. So you won't hear me moaning about it. Not.
Oh, we'll just hear you in the last save. I wouldn't moan about it.
Yeah. And Uncharted 3, I got the platinum for that.
Well done, young man.
I was thrilled. I've got all the platinums
Meh.
for Uncharted's. And
I get the platinum for it, so I went out and fucking bought the game again on the PlayStation 4. Why? I don't know, just bought it. It's like, what the fuck? I've been telling folk about that. Guys playing the game, wanting to get the platinum on it, great. Guess what, you wait and go to PlayStation 4, fucking same game again.
Yep. The Last of Us remastered. Playing that. Yeah, those tickers are a pain in the ass.
Did you feel emotional? See, this is the thing. You played this, man?
No, it didn't get.
I played that. I played that, and I loved it. But it was.
Can I
go on?
Can I ask? I was going to say, ask a question. Right? I've played it. I've played the intro, right? Because apparently the intro really gets to you. Makes you want to cry. Makes you feel emotional, right? I played the intro. And I actually died on the intro because I stopped to look inside the back of an ambulance. Long story, that one. And my mate was saying to me, "Did you not feel anything?" And I went, "No, really." And he was like, "Oh, I'm a dad." It was just after Savage had his first wedding, and he went, "Oh, as a dad, I really felt it." And I'm going to myself, "Well, both of you have offspring. Did you feel anything like, know how the bit where you're running through the streets with the wee lass in your arms? Did you actually give a shit?" Because apparently I missed that whole point of that game.
I don't think it hit me that hard, but that opening section was brilliant. I thought
it didn't get to me either. Apart from, there's only two things that got to me, and that's The Road. That's a brilliant film,
which is basically just Fallout.
Yeah, and
Minions.
Bambi.
No, not Bambi. No.
Little Mermaid.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Cool running. Cool runnings. Cool. Come on, you got to have a tear in your eye.
That got to
Cool
me.
Runnings.
Yeah. No, I was talking about and the game was
Pac-Man.
The Walking Dead season 1.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie, I cried at the end of that game.
They're the only two films that, as a parent, I felt anyway. The Last of Us doesn't.
It's just because, like I say, a lot of people say the intro of The Last of Us really gets you, and I was interested to see. Obviously, I'm there's nothing but dust there for me, and obviously the two of you has been parents of yourselves. It was interesting to see your take on the actual. How it affected you, but if you didn't feel anything either, maybe we were all just fucking emotional. Like
I don't think I didn't feel emotional, but I thought on sheer the cinematic element to that opening part of The Last of Us, I just thought it was phenomenal.
The ending was a bit.
I thought the ending for The Last of Us was brilliant.
I kind of know how it ends, having had conversations with people, and it's a kind of. Did they do the right thing kind of thing?
I mean, yeah, right. When the credits rolled on The Last of Us, the initial was, but then the more you thought about it, you thought, yeah, that was a great place to stop. It was one of those. It answered so many questions, but it also asked a few more. I thought the ending was perfect. I didn't want a game where every little loose end and every little thing was all tied up and gift wrapped and with a nice little bow on top, because that's all too convenient. The way that game had gone, I just thought, yeah, leave some stuff up. Not for a sequel, none of the obvious. There's going to be a Last of Us 2, but just a nice one to make you think. And it's the sort of game that my wife has sat and watched with me, the Walking Dead, and thought a game she'll quite enjoy me watching. And it was after that game had finished, we talked about it for about half an hour, and that's the beauty of gaming, not just the playing and the shooting and etc. etc. If you've got a game that asks questions like that does, and how you would do, brilliant game.
Yeah, but I thought The Walking Dead did it better.
Yes, agreed. The Walking Dead.
There was a more emotional attachment to the characters.
Yes, absolutely.
In The Walking Dead,
but that's the whole point of The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead's all built on a story. See, my argument is I've played the first episode of The Walking Dead, and my history in Telltale is I've finished The Wolf Among Us. I've played Borderlands Episode 1. I've played the first episode of The Walking Dead, and that's it. And I didn't like The Walking Dead. I just found it really, really boring.
First episode of The Walking Dead was the worst episode of the series.
It's the whole kind of, I don't know, it was just really weird. Clunky. I don't know why it didn't click with me. And I love, don't go overboard, Stuart. I particularly enjoy watching the televisional program The Walking Dead, you know what I mean? But no way am I walking into that game thinking I'm going to see Rick and Michonne and stuff and all that, you know what I mean? In no way. So it's not like I'm taking what I think of The Walking Dead and going, oh, this is going to be like The Walking Dead. No, I know it's not. It's just set in the same universe, blah blah blah. Even though Glenn's in the first episode, I know spoiler, shock horror, but he is in the first episode. I just didn't feel anything for it, and I think that's what's put me off playing The Walking Dead.
I mean, that's the weird thing, because you mentioned about The Wolf Among Us. In The Walking Dead, alright, it's a zombie apocalypse, etc, etc, but the setup is a man looking after a strange little girl, and being a parent, I kind of related to it, and it stopped being about Lee and Clementine. It started being, well, if I found a little girl, how would I look after her? Whereas when I came to The Wolf Among Us, I didn't really care about the characters. So I stopped thinking, what would I do? And I didn't really know the background of the character. I was just playing through the game, and it's why I think The Walking Dead, the one, was so good.
I like The Wolf because The Wolf, you were a detective. You were. I really liked The Wolf. I liked the sleuth side of it. The sleuth, good word. I liked being like looking at the scene, looking at the crime scene, knowing no matter what happened, it would come out the same at the end. You know what I mean? And then the choices it gave you. It was the mystery. Like who's been going around doing these murders and stuff. That's what drove me. Whereas in The Walking Dead, it just seems, for the first episode, it just seems like they're I know this is the whole thing in The Walking Dead, but they're just surviving. It's not like they're your end goals. Like it's like we're trying to get to this place.
I would say with The Walking Dead, give it till episode 3. If you finish episode 3 and something still hasn't clicked, then give it up. But episode 3 is so good in that series. That's the benchmark then.
Well, I've got it. Like I say, I've got it there.
Episode 3 is the one. If episode 3 hits you, you won't want to give it up. But if you come away from episode 3 and go, then I'd give up then.
It's the only game I've played that I actually felt connection with the characters. And, you know,
fully agree with you, Colm.
That just proves that story matters more, you know, than graphics or whatever.
Yes.
And I didn't get that same connection with The Last of Us.
I get a bit emotional at Gears of War 3. No.
Of course,
are we allowed to spoil it? Are we allowed to spoil it? I don't know. Are we allowed to spoil it?
Oh, you're going to be telling me you well up when the Mad World trailer comes on. So
there's the Mad World is playing in it, and there's a point where a main character dies. It's well known who dies, and he's been with you all the way through it. He's your best pal. That's it. If you don't know, if you play Walking Christ, you got to know who he is. I'm talking about now. But it just when that happens, I never saw it coming, and it totally got me. And I felt a bit sad at it because I was like, no, especially after his story that they told, you know. And I think a very few games other than that really hit the notes with me. You know what I mean? But then I think as well, like Halo Reach. We all know Reach falls, and I'll be honest, probably the most emotional I've ever been in a game is the very end of Reach, because it's an impossible situation. It's an impossible thing because you know in your heart of hearts that it has to end. And have you played Reach?
No, not yet.
Right.
No. I played a bit.
I wanted to. I would
like
to.
Here we go. Just a question, because I don't want any spoilers. I haven't played it.
Right.
But do you need to be invested in that universe to give it?
No.
So if I play, because I enjoy the Halo games.
You play Reach. Reach. You're part of a squad.
Next month,
right?
December. Next month, that'll be it then.
Reach is part of Games with Gold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I've got it on Gold and I've got it on disc. I just haven't got around to playing it. So I tell you what, I will play that then, and we'll see. Because I like Halo. I'm not the biggest fan of the world.
It's nothing to do with Halo. It's nothing to do with Halo. It's the fact that it's the way it's an old. It's very similar to Red Dead in a way.
Okay.
And it's a case of you spend that game with the team. You've got George, Kat, Carter, Emil. You've got all these guys, and then, like I say, in your head when you play that game, you know Reach falls, and it's just that bit at the end's amazing. And I know I shouldn't have got that way, but I fucking love that bit of that game. For me, it's the pinnacle of Halo. And I know a lot of folk, and I don't mean that in game, because my favourite thing is the cartographer level in Halo 1, but for me, if I was to sum Halo up, it's the essence of Halo. It's that that last bit. Yeah, it's just amazing.
As someone who quite enjoys playing the games, and I wouldn't say I don't care about the story, but I'm not invested in it. I'll play Reach and we'll see what happens.
But again, you'll probably play it and be like, oh, this is man. But Alright, for me, it was amazing. That and Gears are the two games. There you go. Some Stuart up in a nutshell. Fucking Gears of War and Game the two games to get emotional.
Revelation episode.
But it's like, that's right, isn't it? You are all sitting talking about Walking Dead and like how like walking after a wee lassie and all this and getting emotional. I'm like, aye. And again with chainsaws with guns and aliens, I'm all tore up. But that's the world we live in.
Right. Well, on that bombshell, Colm, I think it's about time you came out of the closet to sort of iron over that bit. So
What iron over what bit?
What? Never mind.
What bit? You've lost me.
Moving on, Colm.
And the last
new section.
The last game is Unfinished One.
That's not on the list.
Yeah, it's on me. I'm staring at it.
Alright, I've no
I'll jiggle my thing over it. Look, there you go. You like that? You like that?
Alright. Bit of jiggle.
We
40 years old,
still
still
you jiggle
got
your
it.
thing over. You jiggle your thing over. Just drugs you can get for jiggling now. It's wonderful. So, Unfinished One, yeah. Lovely game. Wouldn't be arsed playing it again. And yes, Howard Wells Benno recommended it for me, but you know, it was enjoyable, but I was glad when it was over.
That sums up there. It was an enjoyable game, but I was glad to see the credits. Yeah, that's like the most counterintuitive review ever.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Your Breath of Life, you were glad to see the credits too, I'm sure.
Breath of Life?
No, but I would agree with that.
I never ever said Breath of Life was anything but. Breath of Life is what it is. It never really. It's not like I would say to you, go and play Breath of Life. It is what it is. It isn't anything that it doesn't pretend to be. And like I say, because I've experienced Thomas Was Alone, which I know is thematically a different game, but theoretically in storytelling, it's the same. That's where my benchmark is, and that's where I was kind of like, I was glad to see the end. But again, it hits certain beats. It just isn't perfect. Whereas you're like, it was enjoyable, but I was glad to see it finished. It was a chore. It
wasn't a chore. It wasn't a chore. It was enjoyable, but as I said, I wouldn't play it again.
That's a seal of approval there, isn't it? There you go.
Yeah.
Game of the week. Fucking
Thanks, Howard, for the recommendation. He's gonna unfriend me now. Okay, so moving on. What have we picked up? So, Matt, what have you picked up?
Well, I'm excited about this section because normally this is where Connor would get to list all the PS Plus and games with gold. But finally, 11 months
Good
in,
morning.
it's my time to shine.
This is it. This is it. It's the takeover.
Now,
the
because I only
takeover.
suddenly realised this about 3 minutes ago, this may be a little inaccurate, but we'll go for it anyway. So, I picked up Dirt 3 and Dungeon Siege 3. There you go.
Brilliant game and
On the
not so
360.
brilliant game.
I got a funny feeling the Xbox One offerings I'd already played or something. I haven't written them down. I don't know. Look them up. Google is your friend. On PlayStation Plus stuff, I got Magicka 2, Beyond Good and Evil on the PS3, Mass Effect 2 on the PS3, Dragon Fin Soup on virtually every console Sony's ever released, and Invisibles. I know nothing about them, but they're all on the pile now. So that's
Dragon Fin Soups. I saw Dragon Fin Soup for 30 seconds. It's savages, and I swear to God, I've never been less excited about a computer game.
Okay, I'll look forward to that one.
It's an
by about
RPG turn-based.
2019 when I get round to it. So.
It's just an RPG turn-based thing, indie thing, and I know Connor likes it because I've heard Connor talk about it. If you've got time for it, you've got time for it.
Okay, well, we'll give that a go, like I say, in 3 or 4 years when I finally work through to it. And then my sister got...
Play Dungeon Siege 3.
No, I haven't. Well. That's downloaded and it sits on the hard drive. And yeah, one day. And then my sister gets some sort of subscription to, I don't know if it's Loot Crate or one of these other things that's a box full of crap that I'm sure is twice as much as it should cost if you bought it individually. But she got a Steam code and gave her that. So I got a game called Over 9,000 Zombies. So
sounds like it could be somewhere
like
between
a zombie
8,000 and 10,000.
There's probably a lot of them. Numerically a certain amount, and I have no doubt you have to kill them. So there you go. There's a one-line review for you. So
perhaps you don't need to kill them. Perhaps you need to rehome them.
Maybe that's it. Sims 5 Zombie Edition. I don't know. I mean, it's a 16-letter code or whatever it is. That's as much as I know about it. But it's got zombies and quite a lot of them.
You're ashamed working there, isn't it? You're ashamed working. I've got a code for something.
Yes. Oh God, yeah. You know, I've been given. Is this? Are you interested in this game? Not so much. It's free though. Alrighty then.
Did you know get Hitman? I saw Connor talking to you about Hitman about maybe being free on.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that. I know it mentioned the word free, and I got a semi, but I haven't looked any further than that. So yeah, that's been me. And so if anyone wants to tell me on Twitter how much more enjoyable that was, me reading a list that has been widely known for a month rather than Connor doing it, and I might do it next month.
Cool.
The crown has been taken. Yeah. No king.
So no Tamagotchi life.
No.
Why would he pick that up? He owns it.
No, it was.
No, but
I
I'm
haven't
just
played
saying,
any of that yet.
I've just gone back.
I haven't played any.
Because you know I like to go back.
You're being like the gravy with your peas. You're putting gravy into the peas now, merging sections.
Well, the thing is, with Tamagotchi Life, stuff happens in the background, and I haven't played it for so long. I'm almost afraid to turn it on. That my children have had children with themselves, and my uncle is my brother and my dad, and they've all got a fondness for caviar or something weird. And I don't want to look. I don't want to look.
Fair
but now
enough.
you've put that seed back in my head. I'll update you on what my children are doing with each other on Tamagotchi Live for next month.
Albinos galore.
He's the enabler. That's it. There's a new enabler. It's now the Irishman.
I want to play it, but I'm uncomfortable.
I know. So am I. I don't even play the game, and I'm still uncomfortable. So, Stuart, what have you picked up?
I finally spent that voucher that was burning a hole in my pocket, burning a hole like a raging fire. Burning it was. I could not sit because it was burning. I finally went and I spent it, and I still have £5 left because. You know, I could fall in the Clyde and come out with a trout in my mouth.
Is that a euphemism?
Aye, well the Clyde's not very many fish in the Clyde, and I mean that's the way it is. I finally went and pulled the trigger and I bought Star Wars with the voucher. Star Wars Battlefront. Ooh.
Is it you?
It's what it is.
Blimey, for all the hype of that game, your review is what it is.
I'm honest, if I was to put a box quote, I would say for accomplished players, it's an electronic ego booster. It's like the soothing rub of someone patting your back.
I know all about that.
It's like, for me, it's a lot like Titanfall, and Titanfall was not hard in the slightest, and it was... You played it and you just played it and you felt at the end of the day, why am I doing this? It's kind of the same with Star Wars. Star Wars, it's not hard, it's not challenging. This is me playing against real people as well, which is really weird. It's what it is.
I mean, that's the thing that I've often thought with games. You shouldn't have to be good at a game to think it's enjoyable, if you see what I mean. And there are certain games where I think, I'd enjoy this if I was good at it, but I'm shit at it, so I'm not having any fun. And I think if that's...
Well, love Star Wars. Star Wars will be
so weird. That's a positive for me.
Yeah, because what it is it's so accessible. It's not like you walk in and... Yes, you'll walk in and you'll get shot. That happens to everybody. But you'll also get to shoot people. And you can play flying squadron. There's no like a barrier entry. It's not like you'll be like, oh, you walk in and yeah, okay, there is a few power ups that are a bit pain in the arse, but the majority of the stuff's low level and that, and you become pretty kitted out at the start, and you just play about and just like, I don't know, it's weird. I play it because I'm probably trying to get all the achievements, so that's probably why I play it. But I've played the single player missions, which aren't really single player, but they're single missions, I call them, which kind of reenact memorable scenes for the saga. So you play on speeder bikes through Endor, and you play on Hoth on a speeder, a snow speeder, sorry, like harpooning a AT-AT to make it collapse and stuff, and they're all great. And yeah, you can do that in game, you can do that in multiplayer matches, but the multiplayer side, it's one of the games that you play and you just feel like it's nice.
So with all the, because the hype for it was non-stop and blah 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 blah.
But a bit of non-event, but
when you picked it up and you've played it for a little while, were you disappointed? Was it just what you thought it would be? What was your instant kind of, or was it just kind of, yeah?
I've played it for a day and a bit, and so that's like 24, 25, 26, 28 hours I've put in it. I like deathmatch in it. Deathmatch is pretty good. It's pretty fast paced, but again, it's no what I would classify COD deathmatch like. It's no that challenging in that sense. There's a few exploits in it that I've realised I can exploit to the max, which is quite interesting. The aiming in it is the primary exploit, because it's a first person, but then you can hold. It's a first person, but if you hold if down in the D-pad, you become third person. Well, when you're in third person, if you just have your reticule over somebody, the auto aim does all the work. So it's kind of like you don't even aim. You just thereabouts. And if you kind of, is it cheating? I don't know if it's cheating or not, but it's a good way to play. And if you like Star Wars, that's another thing. I think that's the key part to this whole thing, is if you like Star Wars. If you openly admit, I am a Star Wars fan, I like Star Wars, I'm not overly Star Wars, but I like it, I think you'll get more enjoyment out of it than somebody who likes Star Trek.
Right, but you see, then that to me is a weakness. You know, a good game is a good game, irrelevant of whether you're into the subject matter or not.
But, well, it's the grandeur to it. It's like, when you're fighting Walker Assault and you're running by an AT-AT and the AT-AT's legs are moving and you're running through the legs and you're like, yeah, come on, and you look to your left and you look to your right and you're all stormtroopers, and the movement is, I love the movement. That's one thing I will say, is they've done the same kind of movement today in Battlefield. So you move irregularly, like you feel like you're cumbersome when you're running, and it's really good that way. Visually it's stunning, and sound wise, everything, all that stuff, spot on. One of the best looking games I've seen. And you look to your left, you've got stormtroopers. You look to your right, you've got stormtroopers. As I said this week to somebody said to me, I'm not really feeling Star Wars, and I was like, hey, what's the matter? And they're like, oh, I just don't feel like I'm doing anything. But I went, that's the key point of Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront is you feel like a tiny insignificant thing in a big massive battle. You're a stormtrooper, you look left, there's stormtroopers, you look right, there's stormtroopers. You're all fighting for one goal, but at the end of the day, you don't matter. You're so insignificant, you can die. That's where this game's strength lies. And I know that's a weird thing, but it is.
No, I liked it. That's why I like MAG and stuff like that. Yeah. Did I achieve anything in MAG? God, no. But did I feel part of a bigger picture? God, yes.
Yeah. And that's the strength of it. The strength of it is when you're in a tunnel fighting for a point, and there's 5 of yous all kitted out in stormtrooper gear, shooting the rebels, throwing grenades, and the guys in front of you are dying and falling, and yous are moving up, and there's guys behind you. That's it. That's the game in a nutshell. It's like, if there's hero card, how it works is there's tokens, so you don't. I'm a bit annoyed at that, because I would like the idea of running up to an X-wing and hitting an X and jumping in it and flying about. But how it works is it's token based, and you pick up a token, you become like a X-wing, TIE fighter. But there's hero cards, and when you pick up the hero token, you become a hero. So the Empires get Vader, the Emperor, and Boba Fett, and the good guys have got Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. But when you get Vader runs, and Luke Skywalker as well for that matter of fact, but when they run, you usually get packs of troopers behind them, because Vader's ult's like a shield with his lightsaber that deflects blasts, so while he's deflecting, the troopers behind him are shooting through, and these are all real people, and it's just that mechanic-y. The guy who got the Vader thing's pretty cool, and he's Vader, right? But it's like Joe Blogg's behind him with a blaster, still racking up kills here, even though he's next to Darth Vader, and he's covering Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's OP, total overpowered. But it's just that whole mechanic-y, the kind of the grandeur, the scale. That's where the enjoyment is, if you know what I mean. Like the pushing forward as a unit and stuff, and that. Nah, it's. Would I say it's worth the £40? Maybe, with a but. How's the season pass going to change things when it comes out? I don't honestly know. I think the game's going to find major problems with that. I don't know if any of you seen the news of that scenario. No. The season pass for the game is another 40, 50. I think the season pass 50.
Oh, I think it did, catch a little bit of the controversy.
Yeah. Be honest with you right now, it's going to be Titanfall Mark 2. Titanfall came out, brought the game out, great. Everybody bought it. Bought Xboxes for it, played it, great. Brought out a season pass. Some people bought it, some people didn't buy it. what happened 6 months later after the buzz had died? The player base was fractured, and it was limited, and it was dwindling because people who had the core game weren't finding matches against people who had the DLC, blah blah blah. And at the end, they had the season pass go for a $5, and then right now they fucking threw the towel in and went, fuck it, have the season pass, because everybody's as well having the maps, because then everybody can get a game. You know what I mean? Flip forward 6 months with Star Wars, I think you'll get the season pass for free or for a $5, because I can't see it having the longevity of a Battlefield. Battlefield's a different beast and how it plays and stuff, and how the logistics are behind it, whereas this, it's pick up and play, but there's only so many times you can play on half, and then you're kind of like, I've been here before. And I think that's the key. I think if the movie's been out and the movie's died away, Easter time, I'm saying Easter time, we'll start to see something, unless they've got something major up their sleeve that will make people want to buy the DLC. I don't imagine it happening, so I'm intrigued to see. This is really telling, because if you look at Halo 5, all the maps are free, because Halo have admitted we need everybody on the same platform with the same maps, blah blah blah. Rainbow Six, same again, all multiplayer shooter, all the maps are free. So you've got Halo. I love saying Bungie with Halo. You've got 343 giving you all the DLC for Halo 5 for free, and you've got Rainbow Six with Ubisoft giving you all the DLC for that for free. But you've got EA making you pay £50 for the DLC for Star Wars. I don't know about you, but I know who's going to win that fight and who's going to lose it. You know, and I think that's a major problem that EA have to. Colm just falls earlier in shock.
No, that wasn't me. That was a bang from man.
Seems all quiet here.
So that's Star Wars. If you like Star Wars, definitely buy it. If you don't like Star Wars, it's still worth the buy. It's a good game. It's a good game. If you want a wee ego boost and to feel like you've done something exciting and you've done some cool stuff, then yeah, go for it. You know what I mean? It's good at what it does, and what it does well. If you know what I mean. The two of you are the shooter fans, so yous would play it and go, oh, it's really good. Whereas obviously I'm looking for something more. It's the same argument I had with Titanfall. I went in with my head screwed on to play a certain way, and I was like, this is shit, because all I'm doing's killing bots and fucking killing folk and never being challenged and stuff. And at the end of the day, sometimes in life you just need something a bit easy and fancy free and windy to play, and Star Wars is definitely that. So
I like fancy free and windy.
So there you go. That's what I've picked up, and I still have £5 in credit on a card.
La dee da.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to spend that £5 on something.
One Direction.
I don't know what's that going to do with it?
One Direction album. Yeah, I'm sure you can pick
when
one
did games start selling CDs? Have I missed something here?
GameStop used to sell them back in the old days.
Well, these are nowadays, and I don't think
in Ireland.
You're still thinking at our price and Tower Records, for fuck's sake. But aye, so that's all I've picked up this month. Woohoo.
So, thank you, Stuart. Aren't you wonderful? You still managed to pick up all the games, so stop slagging off me as well.
I picked up all the games. Hold on. Have I got Need for Speed? No. Oh, hold on, we'll leave that. But let's just say there's at least one.
How many? Come on.
There's about 12 games out there that I want. And I pick
really?
up one.
12?
About 12.
12. Come
about
on,
12.
Tell me 12.
How
Tell me two of them 12.
Name two right now. Two games I want right now.
Yeah.
Need for Speed and Tomb Raider.
Need for Speed? I didn't have you down as a Need for Speed man.
Doesn't matter, I want it. I never had you doing as a Need for Speeder. All I write about in the paper is fucking driving games. Games that involve driving.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Need for
Funnily
Speed
enough, why would I want Need for Speed? Need for Speed's a car game. It's got driving in it.
But you're a Horizon fan.
I'm a Horizon fan, but in the equality of journalism, I like to cover all driving games that are available. Also, Project Cars. I don't have that. I want Project Cars as well. There's 3, and Batman: Arkham Knight. That's 4. You want me to keep going, mate? I've been here all night. What about The Witcher 3? Don't have that. Don't really want it, but I want it.
No, you don't want it.
But I still want it. You know what I mean?
So, it's all about me now.
As it always
Finally.
is.
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
Right. PS Vita TV. and Sony headphones. Yes. No.
Oh, we are fully Sony branded now, aren't we, Colm?
Oh, he's on his knees. His knees are red raw, man, because he's been sucking Sony's dick.
I have to take my false teeth out for that.
Sorry, I can't hear you. You've got Sony's dick in your mouth. Take it out.
Look at that, it's enormous.
Well, it should be. I was going to say, personal question, right? PS Vita, right, has dropped to £30. My young brother, who's a fool, owns a place.
What?
It's dropped to £30.
You can pick up a Vita for 30 quid.
No, a Vita TV.
Oh, god damn it.
And my young brother, who's a fool's got a Vita and he's got a PlayStation 4. Why in God's earth would I require to buy him one? No, sell it to me. Actually sell this to me, because I'm like, do I buy him one? I don't fucking know what it does. I kind of have an idea of what it does, but then I'm kind of like, I don't really think it does what I want it to do. But right now, Colm, sell this product to me. Make it shine.
For 30 quid? What can you get for 30 quid these days, huh?
That's
a good meal. You can't even get a weekend away for 2. You can't even get a good night out. But you can get a TV. A PS Vita TV.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but we've not actually covered what the fucking thing does yet. So
okay, so basically what a PS Vita TV does is you can stream games from your Vita. Unfortunately, typical Sony, you can't stream all the games from your Vita and play them on your TV. Only a select few. Well, there's a good few. And you can also stream your PlayStation 4 from another room to your TV in another room, if the wife has taken over the TV downstairs, say, for argument's sake.
Right, and I heard the thing is because you need to use a PlayStation 4 controller or a PlayStation 3 controller, it struggles horrifically with games that have touchscreen or touch ability in it. I heard that it's murder to play a game with touch, like with QTE type. The point of reaction is, I know Killzone works on it, but Killzone you need to melee with the touchpad. I hear it's absolutely dreadful at doing that, and I'll be honest, that's the one thing that's put me off even buying it, because I was like, what's the point if you can't play touch games? So like Tearaway, Uncharted and Killzone all feature touch, you know, and I'm kind of like, if they don't work,
well, you can go out and buy the Tearaway and fold it for the PS4.
Yeah, I have bought them that. So.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, because it dropped to a tenner on Black Friday. Connor's got it as well, I think.
Ah, that's nice.
Well, it's for Christmas.
Okay, it's Christmas. So, yeah, I would, for 30 quid, do you get any games with that?
No, you just get the box.
Some of them come with download games.
I think this is just the core machine, the core black box with nothing else.
Well, if he has no reason, if he has a games room, or if he has,
well, his PlayStation 4's hooked up to the telly, and his Vita's his Vita. It's not like it's. I thought if it would let him play his Vita games on the TV, but it let him actually play his Vita game, like the touch stuff, because the PlayStation 4 pad's got a touch pad. Do you see what I'm coming for? You think you'd be able to use that touchpad on the PlayStation 4 to do the touch stuff on the Vita games, you know? But apparently it doesn't work like that, and that's a bit of a problem, I hear.
Yeah, it's not. I heard it was a bit of a problem too.
So basically it's a piece of shit, and that's why it's £30.
Aye.
that is it. That's it in a nutshell. And it's like,
but you know, your brother might get some use out of it.
I don't see where and how. That's the problem.
Did he say he wants one?
No, I was just
saying. Well, then don't get it for him.
Well, and it was £30. It was £30, and I was like, oh, £30 for a thing. Is it a thing that he's going to use? I don't know. Now, I don't think he would use it. That's the problem.
Well, then don't get it for him. Buy him a 2DS instead for 50.
Why? Is it a Vita?
2 words: Tomodachi life.
Oh, don't go there. He'll be back at fucking CEX in a minute.
He can send an Explorer to my town, and I can send one back to his. It's best thing ever.
Colm will be at CEX tomorrow morning, chapping the door, going, "Mister, give me it back. Give me my DS back. I want to play the games. What Tamagotchi life? I want to know." I bet you that'll come next. That'll be next.
So let's move on, please.
So your Yugo was a set of headphones in a wee black box.
Aye.
You know you can hack the wee black box.
Can you?
Yeah, it's apparently a pig, but you can hack it. I'm not telling you what you can do with it once you hack it, but let's just say it's somewhere in between putting it right up your arse and doing something else.
Right, sold.
But when you hack it, it becomes somewhat of entertaining. But it's quite a pig to hack. But
Okay.
I don't know these things. I just know what I hear on Twitter. I've got a thing for grape.
Exotic.
Just now. I know. I didn't realise it was a thing, but yeah, grape. Grape is my favourite flavour.
Is it?
Yeah, well, my new current
Oh,
flavour.
right.
What's your jam? My new jam is grape.
You know you're
So,
you're growing up, Stuart, when your new jam is the flavour of a soft drink. So.
Yep. It would have been Star Wars, but it was what it was. Tell you what, man. Talking about old folk, see the Emperor in it. Oh my God, he's dreadful.
Oh really?
Oh, he's so bad, man. All he does is electrocute people and shit out tokens. He's like a total support player.
Right.
It's just so like Darth Vader's free. Each hero has free moves.
Right.
Boba Fett's got a rocket launcher and a flamethrower
Right.
and a jetpack. Darth Vader can force choke,
Yeah.
throw his lightsaber, and block with his lightsaber. The Emperor does lightning, a kind of flying rush dive, but it doesn't actually do any damage.
Right.
And his shit suit power ups.
Right.
That's it. That's all he does. That's all he does.
See, I've
So-
quite enjoyed. I mean, like I say, I haven't spent a lot of time with Battlefront games, but I've often found is I quite like objective-based and class-based shooters. And I used to get when I played Battlefront back in the day, I used to get annoyed because I'd be ploughing on trying to get the objectives in this, that, and the other, and there'd be 6 or 7 guys sat at the back snipering just to get their kill-death ratio up. Do you find in Battlefront Star Wars people do work for the objectives, or people are only dealing with it like team deathmatch?
Well, no, there's a team deathmatch mode there, but it's like Walker Assault is a great example, because Walker Assault, if you're the Empire, you just push, you keep pushing. But if you're no the Empire, the rebels have to hook up an uplink station, and then what happens is the uplink station collects bombers,
Right.
and I think you can have the Walker walks, and while it's walking, you're defending this point, getting Y bombers.
Right.
So I think you get, say you get 8 or 9. Well, once the Walker hits a certain point, the Y bombers come in, and the Y bombers take the shields of the AT-ATs off, and then you whole team pummel the AT-ATs.
Right.
And the AT-ATs walk a wee bit longer, and then the shields go back up, and then you have to retreat to another. You fall back to another point.
Yeah.
What you find there is it's a case of a lot of people hold the line, and you know what I mean. It's good. It's good. It's no like what you would imagine. Like, it's no like COD. It's actually in brackets. It's what your mother would say is a nice game. Like, it's like a Sunday game. Everybody's nice.
We see that the
You know what I
shooters
mean?
that I enjoyed most, I don't know if you ever played, but there were enemy territory games, and there would be games. For example, you'd have 2 sides, and there wasn't. And like, for example, Team 1 on one match, they'd first of all have to go and capture something. So you'd have an attack and defend then there'd be an element of escorting something. Then the roles would reverse. Let's say Team 1 would have to capture a tank, then escort a tank somewhere, then defend the tank for a little while. And it's those kind of games.
It's not as fluent as that.
Right.
If I'm honest, it's more like, well.
See, that's
no,
why
it's
Overwatch, the game coming out, that appeals to me something chronic, because that's what that is.
I've got access to the beta for that, but I've not actually downloaded
All right.
it. I don't know why. But yeah, I should really play that.
Yeah, that looks just like my boulevard of what I like out of a shooter.
It's quite MOBA. It hits me as a MOBA as well.
Well, like I say, I played. That's why. I mean, I don't know if you played. Did you ever play Brink? Yeah,
yes.
it's that.
Love it.
So I
Love it.
loved Brink because it was that kind of game where there'd be attacking, defending, escorting, stopping people, escorting stuff, and I loved Brink, and I played that to death, even though it got slagged off terribly. And Overwatch seems a better Brink.
Kinda. I know what you mean. Well, Star Wars isn't that. Star Wars is like it's cool because you can put the disc in, you can go and play Squadron. Well, fucking, I forget, Flight Squadron or whatever it is, and all it does is spawn you in a TIE fighter or an X-Wing, and you just fucking shoot each other.
Alright. See, the whole flying bit of Battlefront
that's
never,
magic.
or the vehicles in Battlefront never appealed. I've always liked to be on foot. So
If you, well, that's what I'm saying. If you're a Star Wars fan,
right,
it's magic playing the fight, the flying
right,
stuff.
okay.
because it's TIE fighters against X-Wings, and and then somebody becomes the Falcon, and it's flying about being fucking don't get cocky kid and all that shit. Whereas like the modes are Walker Assault, Superiority is just Battlefield, capture the points. Rush, I don't know what it's called. Rush, it's Team Deathmatch, Blast, it's called Blast. Team Deathmatch. There's a Defend the Droid mode, where there's like 4 droids on a map, and you just need to hold the droids.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like territories, but they move.
Oh right, okay. Like a headquarters type thing. Kinda,
but the 4 droids are always wandering.
Oh right, okay. So mobile headquarters then, basically.
Yeah, kinda. Drop pod, which is more like headquarters. Pod drops, attach the pod opens, get the stuff inside it. Hero versus villain, which is quite cool, which is a team of heroes taking on a team of villains, which is quite cool, and there'll be normal troops and that. So you have all 3 heroes for each side on the battlefield, plus 4 other normal people, and each round the heroes respawn, i.e. it shuffles who the hero is. Quite cool. And then there's hero capture, which is one person goes a hero and you team of 9 have to defeat him. So like you're Han Solo shooting loads of stormtroopers. It's cool. I like that mode. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, by the time I get round to getting a next generation, because my PC's, although it's all right for running games, it's not going to deal with the latest stuff or anything different. So eventually, when I pick up a new console, it is one that I'll pick up. But again, it's the thing that I've found hard about the Year of Shame is the ship will have sailed. By the time I get round to Battlefront, you would just be left in, like it was with some of the Gears of War games, that when you go into multiplayer, the only people playing it were those that are really good. So you play 2 or 3 games, get absolutely annihilated and think, I'm not going to do this anymore because it's no fun. And I wonder whether that will happen with Star Wars Battlefront.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 6 months' time, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's either going to sink or it's going to swim, or they're going to admit defeat, and we'll see what the outcome of that will be. You know what I mean? Because if they admit defeat and it goes free, the DLC, then it'll live forever.
Yeah.
Because everybody will have access to everything, but they'll no admit defeat until the 4 packs are out, and that's probably 6 months, 7 months time. So, but it's good. Like I say, if you had an Xbox, if you had EA Access, you got a 10-hour trial, so you could play that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it wouldn't live up to the hype, but it always, because I like those big team based. I mean, MAG in itself wasn't a great shooter, but I like being part of. I don't like being the lone hero, if you see what I mean. I like being part of a team and pushing forward and thinking it's not my kill death ratio that really matters. I'm helping towards an objective, because I'm never going to be at the top of a scoreboard for that kind of thing. So, you know, that kind of game appeals.
Bit of a nothing event, but as well, Star Wars, because like I say, it was billed as this, that, blah, blah, blah. Came out, every fucker's still playing Fallout.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's shocking. Fallout's just grabbed the world and its granny, and it's no letting go.
How are you finding Fallout 3? Because that's one of my piles. Now, I've played Oblivion and all those games, and they've never really... I've always thought I'm missing something. People seem to fall over themselves for Oblivion and Morrowind and all them, and they just don't click with me.
Fallout 3, me, have a long story. I bought Fallout 3 at launch, and then I went up to my mates, and I watched them play about an hour and a half of it, and I just went, nah, this isn't for me. I never played it, never touched it, just watched him, and then just shelved it. And then, like I say, Fallout 4 fever hit, everybody get excited, blah blah blah, and I went, fuck it, backwards compatibility, Fallout 3 works, let's give it a bash. So I've put it in, and I came out and I did the whole thing at the start, which was quite nice, and you came out the vault, and I'll admit I went online to see what was the best way to build a character, because obviously, you know. So I ran all the way to the bit to get the stuff and that, and got all my stuff, and then started playing it. And it's a bit dated graphically,
but that I kind of, you must imagine playing through a Year of Shame that you realise you were going to come across stuff like that.
It's probably the oldest, it's the oldest game I've played in the Year of Shame. I'm not playing it, put it that way. No, I don't think it's just. I think it's maybe just because I played through it and got a couple of achievements, did a few major missions in it, and then it's just a case of kind of like there's stuff in it I'm finding that's annoying me and stuff, and I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know, and then I'm like, oh, do I spend lots of time doing this? And it had a whiff of Dragon Age about it, if you know what I mean, because I'd played Dragon Age, but then it was a bit more combat focused, which made me happy because I like the shooting, you know what I mean, know that it's built for shooting, but it scratched that Fallout 4 itch for me, because obviously, you know, I can't buy Fallout 4 and stuff, you know.
It's just sort of weird with the games like that, you know, the kind of, you can do anything, where you can wander over here, you can go this way, which seems to appeal to most people, in a weird way turns me off, because I always like some form of direction, because I think, well, if I wander over here, I could be missing something really good over there, if you see what I mean. So
I like structure. I like things to be highlighted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be directed down a corridor the whole time, but
no, but I like to be told, like, even if I find an area, it can go right. X is here, Y is here.
Yeah.
This is the one thing I found playing it was I got enough into it to start going through the tunnel system in DC, which as a pig, I guess, and it wasn't for me. It was like, it's like certain part you can only, it's like you use the subway stations as your like entry points to get across the city, and it's just like it's such a snaking, winding system. It's like you kind of don't really know where you're going, if you know what I mean. And you're like, thank God I can fast travel here and I can fast travel. But when you're out in the wilderness, when you're outside the actual game and you're running about in the great wide yonder, that's great. You know what I mean, because it's like broken off motorways and blown up shacks and all that shit, and there's nothing. You're out in the open, you know what I mean. You're no underground, but when you're underground, it's quite easy to get lost after. Yeah. Because it's the thing I've noticed. I know about Fallout 4 and watch things. Is Fallout 4's got a perk which at any point you press a button and it brings up an arrow on the screen, which guides you to where you're going. Whereas in Fallout 3, all it is a bar at the bottom with a diamond, and once you turn yourself to the compass, you walk to it, but it doesn't actually it doesn't really direct you, because if you're underground, you might have to double back and go up, blah blah blah.
I'm with you.
That kind of killed it. Whereas, like I say, in the new one, it brings this arrow up on the ground that you can follow.
Yeah. You see, the other thing that sort of turned me off those games is because you could do anything. You could wander to some really important NPC and kill them,
shoot them,
and then you'll read some later on a website that, if you speak to him and you've done that, then he gives you this cool thing, and you think, well, bollocks, I killed him. And for some people, they enjoy that whole thing. That's enjoyable to them, and to me, it's almost, I'll just start again.
Oh, as I'm hearing about 4's a bit like that. If you can get in day camps, and then if you do a camp and go away and then come back to it, raiders can take the camp over and have built new structures and stuff, or it's like totally randomised the world.
Okay.
And a lot of people are kind of like, oh, I don't know, that's a bit too deep. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, fair dues, but it's a lot of. For what I hear, 4's a hell of a time sink in itself. Yeah. Because not only have you got the game, then you've got the structure stuff, then you've got the settlement stuff, and you've got all of that, and it's like you can spend hours building a house.
Yeah, I've heard all that, and I am terrible for dicking about and doing that, and think I'm bored of this game now, and I've spent so long dicking about with stuff. So,
in the power armor stuff, you find power armors and you mod them to make them more powerful. Or it's like I've seen folk with like 12 power armors, and they're all set up with different rigs and stuff, and it's like, oh man, can't even be doing that shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's a weird one. Yeah. And that's before they even touch DLC. It's kind of it's like the polar opposite of what Assassin's Creed is. Right. Assassin's Creed tells you what everything is, and you in Fallout you just walk out and you're like, right, fuck it, I'm going. That wants me to go this direction. I'm going the other direction. And then you run into super high level baddies. Yeah,
see, that's the thing that I always liked about Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I could go wandering around dicking about, but I'm not gonna stop me being able to do something. I can dick about as much as I like, but when I'm ready to proceed, I go over there and I start that mission and I'm done. The thought of if I killed an NPC to stop a quest line or to stop me being able to get something, it would do my head in.
It's like important things are locked away. You can't, but in Fallout you can walk into a village and just kill everything. Yeah, I mean, you can just kill everybody in the village, and it's like, oh, and they can turn on you really quick as well.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, I get the whole point, but I walked into a village and I was half dead and I was looking for health, and every bed I tried to go to was somebody's bed.
Right.
And you're kind of like, I need to sleep to heal, and it was a nightmare. And I'm like, oh, can he heal? Can he heal? That was one of the things that got me doing about the game, was on the ability to heal yourself.
Right.
You can do it, but I found it really difficult because you need it. It's a juggling act, because if you take too much medicine, you then become an addict.
Right. So
you can become addicted to like stem packs and Radaway and all of this stuff, and it's just like then you need to go to the doctor, and the doctor needs to treat you, and it's cool. It's a cool idea. If you take drugs, you become an addict. But I don't want that to happen to me. I just want to be able to heal myself properly and then go about the wasteland.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? And it's kind of like, oh, nuts. And then you go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, I can cure you your addiction. It'll cost you 130 odd caps. And you're like, that's all my money. And then I've got nothing to buy health packs with. And it's I don't know, maybe I was playing it too fast and stuff and all that, but I don't know. I really want to play 4, I'll be honest.
Right.
Because I think 4's a better game in many ways, if that makes sense. For everything I've heard and read and watched, it seems like more accessible is the word. I think it's a more accessible game. I think a lot of people say the intro at the beginning, it holds your hand for about an hour and a half.
Right.
Whereas Fallout 4, you're a child, you grow up. It's well done. You're a wee baby, and then you become a 10-year-old, then become 16, and then the door opens and you're fucked out into the wilderness.
Right. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Whereas I think in 4 you're held as an adult outside the vault for a bit longer
Right.
than what you are in 3, if that makes sense. It's worth experiencing the intro, because it's great, because you can turn around and tell folk my dad was Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of the most beautiful things in gaming. My dad was Liam Neeson. And stuff like that. But I don't know. I think the boat's set sail on it, if I'm honest. I think for me, because there's nobody I can talk to about it, and everybody I talk to about it's done it.
Yeah.
And it's no really fresh, and it's no really. It's a lot of people are saying Fallout 4 is quite a social experience just now, because they can talk to everybody, and it's a bit like Destiny. They all talk about it, and they all talk about how they. And as somebody said as well, it's a different experience for everybody fundamentally. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like that buzz at that time is a rare thing to have again. You know what I mean? But I would say play 3, get a go, and if it scratches the itch, it scratches the itch. If you really want to play 4, you know what I mean? And if no, it's probably worth dabbling in for a wee bit, just to see how you feel overall at the end of it. And if it is for you, then you can go, well, 4's a bit more this, that, the next thing, maybe worth a shout. If no, you know what I mean, I've got Oblivion, and Oblivion, I don't know, I just never clicked with Oblivion either.
I've tried it 2 or 3 times, and it just never.
But I tried Morrowind on the original Xbox, and it was cool, but then it just was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games, and there's plenty like them that have so many good ideas that sound fun, but when you actually, put them into practice, like, this isn't fun.
It's a special kind of person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I fancy Just Cause 3, but I think when I play Just Cause 3 when the time comes, I think I'll really enjoy my time in it, because I'm in the mood for that kind of sit in a jet and just fucking blow shit up and fly about and just blow shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what the Eurogamer beta was all about and stuff. And I think that's what I really want out of Just Cause 3. And I think as well for the size of it, for what I see, because I like shooting open world shooters like Mercenaries.
Yes, yeah, I remember.
Again, capture the bad guy, blow up the city, destroy the. Mercenaries and the Saboteur were 2 of my favourite games last year.
Right, okay.
Saboteur, I loved.
What was the appeal with that game? Do you know what? That sounds embarrassing. I don't even know if I've got that game. I know what that game is, or roughly, but I can't remember if I've got it or not.
At my core, I like killing Nazis. I really like killing Nazis. And I want me to kill Nazis.
Right.
And there was an Irishman in it.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, every game has a bad point or two. So
it was also the choice it gave you, because you could get creative. Because say a toon had Germans overrunning it, and say there was like a guard tower, a tank, and a barracks or something. Well, to start with, how about I put a bomb on a car and park the car next to the guard tower, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll detonate that car, blowing up the guard tower, and while the tank and stuff's startled, I'm behind them, and I snipe the fuel tank on the tank. But by the time the tank blows up, because of that, the troops for the barracks are at the tank. So then I just run in with my gun and shoot the remaining troops in the barracks, and then I've liberated the town. It's like the variety it gives me to play with. That's what I like in an open world game. I like an open world game that doesn't stick too much to a set rule. I like it when it goes, right, well, here's X, Y, and Z. Do whatever you want. Fly a jet into this, throw this into a motor, gun this down, mine this. That's what it's all about with the Saboteur, was all the variety. Like Mercenaries. Mercenaries was like that. Fire an airstrike, bring in a motor, you know what I mean, drop troops, blah blah blah. It's all about variety in games. That's what I like. I like being able to tackle things my own way, if you know what I mean. But that was the joy of them. But there's been very few like that in this gen.
Yeah.
When I think about it, because like Assassin's Creed's open world, but the outcome's always the same. You never get the chance to actually go wild and cut loose and do anything you really want in it, do you? So it's kind of meh.
I would say I'd have to agree with two of you, really. I never really got Fallout.
It's a weird one.
It's too much choice and
That's the weird thing, is too much freedom. Into what?
Well, it's no choice, because you're not really like when you walk out the vault, you've got the choice to go where you want, but that's it. It's like,
but you see that's what I'm saying. That is that you walk out of something and you can go anywhere. For many people, that is such a big positive, and to me, it's a negative. It's like, but I don't want to choose. Somebody tell me what to do.
For me, it's the fear. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? But if you come out of that place and you go somewhere and you do a mission for somebody and you get the side mission, you get the achievement and stuff, right? You're kind of like, well, where does that mission fit in the story? Is it at the middle? Is it the middle? Is it the middle, the beginning, or the end? Because I've went a totally different direction. And then you're like, well, does that mission incur on other missions? And it's because I know Fallout Vegas was a good one, because I know Fallout Vegas, it got to a point where you worked for factions, so you would be doing missions for X, but then Y would get pissed off with you because you were doing missions for X, and then Y's missions would disappear.
The thought of that, I hate the thought of that missions go out of a game. It's like, but I don't want to have to play through a game twice to see everything.
But the game doesn't. But then it's like that whole. Well, in real life, you couldn't play. Well, you maybe could, but realistically, you couldn't play both sides.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, you'd need to pick a side and go down that side. I don't know the interest of it, but I just know that was a mechanic. Was if you did ones for them, I can't even remember their name, but it's like the Brotherhood, and then the other guys, the Imperial guys or whatever they're called, they would get pissed off, and then what would happen as well was their guys, if they saw you out in the wilderness, they would try and kill you. So before, when they were neutral, everybody's friends, but then when you've pissed off one of them, if they saw you out in the wilderness, they would just try and shoot you.
Like you say, realistically, that's the way it is. But the thought of having to play a game multiple times to see everything that it has to offer, I can't stand it. Like I say, you've just explained it beautifully, and why, realistically, no, you should have to do that. But I don't have the time to go over a game 2 or 3 times. In my mind, I might miss something, I might cock something up or whatever and cut myself out of it. But the thought of when I'm embarking on this game, I can't see everything on my first playthrough grinds my gears.
Flip side of that, but we're talking about Walking Dead and Telltale. Telltale's a prime example. There's every major point, there's 2 options.
Yes, but Telltale does why those games are so good is those main story beats are going to happen no matter what. It's how you get there. So, there's, I'm certain in, without giving away, I know they're old games, there's spoilers, but certain things in those are always going to happen. It's whether they were your choice or somebody else's, or on purpose or accidentally, and it's, you come away from it, and when you analyse it, you know that that's what was going to happen. But it hides that so well with smoke and mirrors. You make makes you think that your game, no one else will have ever had this experience with this game because these are all my choices.
And the fact that it's not over 100 hours long. So
yeah,
you know,
but there's a real sense of cause and effect in that game that they hide so brilliantly.
Yeah, I suppose, but then you've got the whole rewind thing as well, where you can rewind chapters.
Well, there is that, but I don't know if you were the same, Cole, but I played The Walking Dead, and I didn't want to play it again to see how it went differently. That was my story. That's how I played that out, 1 to 5. I don't want to go back and pick the exact opposite to what I did to see what happened, because to me, my Walking Dead story was episodes 1 to 5, and that was that.
See, I think that's a key point to The Walking Dead, but The Walking Dead, as you play through it, and let's cut the cheese. It's like, I play The Walking Dead, I get my achievements. If I finish it and there's achievements left needing done, I want to go back and get them. The wolf amongst us was a case of you filled in your scrapbook or your storybook, and for every major choice, there was whatever one you chose. There was two story scraps, one for each choice. So if you did a choice and followed it, it was your story, your main campaign. You were missing the one for the one you didn't do.
Walking Dead didn't do that. The achievements were
that
just...
did my
yeah,
nothing.
that's terrible. See, The Walking Dead, what I did was, in story beats, no matter how you got there, you got an achievement for getting to that. So it made the achievements in The Walking Dead irrelevant, but it also stopped you having to do what you've just explained.
Well, that's the same with Telltale. Borderlands. Borderlands is the same as that. You just play through it, you get the achievements. And with the Wolf, I had my core save, but after I finished each chapter, I would revert back to get that.
See, that would annoy me because you then play, let's say you picked one way and then you then went back and played it to get the other way and you think, oh, I preferred that one, I wish I'd done that. Whereas with, The Walking Dead, no intention, because that was my story and I made bad choices, I made good choices, but they were the choices I made.
The very first chapter one I always remember is, see when you get into the fight in the bar and the big massive white guy, the big boogeyman. Well, you know how you get the choice of, do you rip his arm off? One of them's for ripping his arm off, and the other one's for no ripping his arm off. But then, having played through that game, you wonder, what would happen if I hadn't ripped his arm off? And it's, I know what you mean, it's like, it's a bit...
I liken it to reading a book twice. Basically, you read a chapter and then you have to read it again. And, my bad memory, maybe it does work with me, but I just couldn't be arsed reading the same chapter twice.
Yeah.
That's the way.
That's why I download the audiobook.
Yeah.
That's why with The Walking Dead Season 2, I didn't like my ending. The ending I picked was shitty, but it was the ending I picked. So,
was that. It's a bit more like fighting fantasy. Fighting fantasy books. Now you were like, you now enter a room, you what do? Turn to page 12, turn to page 8. And you would turn to page 12, read it and go, You go to page
that's
8
exactly
and go,
how I did them
books,
yes.
And you just you look at which of the two was the option you wanted, and you're like, yeah, I'll go with that one and leave the other one. It's kind of
I cheated every one of those books, but I still enjoyed them. But yeah, I was always finger to mark that page, like, no, that's not the choice I meant.
Joys of joys. Okay, choices in games and Fallout 3. Good times.
Good times. Okay. So, missing stuff, and it's me. Well, I wouldn't mind playing Tomb Raider, but I have to live with my decisions, so... Hell, you can't play all the games all the time.
That's very true. As much as that, I hate the thought of that. That's why I hate console exclusives. So that's why I have to own all the consoles. I've explained that to the wife multiple times. She still doesn't understand.
So yeah, that's all I'm missing. Matt.
Yes. There's another Hearthstone expansion. I could buy that with in-game gold, but that was such a grind to do it, and I'm so close to the end. I may as well hang it out, and I'll buy it at the end of my chat. It will probably be my first purchase. But
12 o'clock.
Yeah, that's it. They'll be doing old Lang Syne, and I'll be logging into Hearthstone and buying some more virtual cards. But do you know what? It's actually been playing Borderlands 2 this month. That's really, as much as I've said, I love Borderlands. The first Borderlands, I ploughed so long into it. But Borderlands 2 is probably a game that, because I looked at it and thought, well, that's a lot of time, and you spend a lot of time in that, and there'll be no one to play it with because no one's playing this game anymore because it's so old. But weirdly, because I've started playing that game, and I am enjoying it, not as much as the first, but I am enjoying it, and I've suddenly thought, I quite like playing these games that I wouldn't have touched otherwise. They're sat there in a pile, and still there are so many games that will sit in that pile.
So you're playing your pile of shame, basically. On your year of shame, you're reading through your pile of shame.
And it's actually... I'm actually enjoying the fact that I'm doing that. You know, I'm not going to lie. When the year of shame is over, I will look at the Steam sales and I will, my pie will be within 4 digits high by the time 2016 ends. But the fact of the matter is, at the minute, I'm playing games that I would otherwise ignore, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm not really missing a great deal at the moment.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Colm. Anytime. If you play your cards right, I'll do this again next month.
For one last time.
Stuart.
Aye.
Missing stuff.
Aye. Right. Fallout 4. Everybody and their granny loves it. Fucking everybody wants it. Octodad. Don't know why. I saw it on the dashboard and I was like, fuck, I want to play Octodad. New Tomb Raider. Why? Don't really have a drive for it, but fuck it, I want the new Tomb Raider.
Did you play the other Tomb Raiders?
I have played the other Tomb Raider on 2 platforms. So there you go. Played it on the Xbox 360 and played it on the Xbox One.
You enjoy it?
It was alright. Okay. It's the kind of thing, it's a story driven game. You don't need to pick it up and play it right now because it's a story driven game. It's not like there's a massive torrent of excitement with it, you know what I mean? No Need for Speed, I've already mentioned that. Just Cause 3 comes out Tuesday. I want Just Cause 3. Why? Who knows? It's a really good looking game, blah blah blah. And yet again, I'm missing Transformers Devastation. Again. So, for a man who said there's no 12 games you missed, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus, what was it? The Witcher 7. And I could probably come up with the rest of them, the new, if I had a moment to think. But yeah, there's quite a few games I'm missing at said moment in time.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you. Thoughts and feelings. Oh, curse me again. Fucking hell.
This is what happens when you build the segments run about a man.
The thing is, these segments, I put them so everyone had first up, second up, third up, fourth up. I only randomised it for the first episode, but we seem to have stuck that for all 11 so far.
He just uses the same template as a copy paste every month.
No. The revelation episode, this really is.
Oh no, behind Iron Curtain, Connor is doing nothing to do with this. It's Colm. I love that. That's the revelations. I keep fucking saying Connor and then Colm. It's never Colm then Connor.
I'm used to being second.
You always are.
Oh, and I'm missing Connor. Bless him.
Yeah, we're missing him.
Yeah,
we're missing him in his list of games every month.
Okay, I'm happy I've made my decision. I'm sticking to it for the foreseeable future. In my defence, oh Jesus, here we go. I haven't spent any of my own money on getting a Vita TV or the headphones and still have €100 in credit.
Wanky wank, wank wank, wankety wank. I'm sure that was at the end of that statement at one point.
Yeah, I fucking took that out. I knew it was you. Wanky wank, 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 wank.
Wankety wank, wankety wank.
In all seriousness, Colm, now,
I haven't had one of them in fucking a long time.
I mean, I know you've said there, I'll take what you've written at face value, that you're happy with your decision. Are you genuinely, or is it just because you're in a honeymoon period, or do you think, look, I've done this, so I need to make the best of it, or? No,
I'm just making my decision. I've made
fucking
it now, so I'm getting on with it. I'm getting on.
No, I'm not picking on you. It's just, have you done this and then thought, like you mentioned, and you're missing stuff about Tomb Raider? Do you think if I still had that other console, I could play a game that I'm missing, or do you think you've done something for the best?
Yeah, I've done it. My decision's made. So yeah, I just
he's dancing.
You see, like Stuart there, he has just his Xbox 360 and his Xbox One, and he's happy enough with that. So you don't.
That's been me for day one, but I've never wanted any
more.
That's how I was born.
As much as my wife has moaned at me, is that the thought of that there could be some good games on a platform I don't own. It's why I stupidly buy every platform all the time, because if I had an Xbox, I'd want to play Uncharted, or if I had a PlayStation, I'd want to play
Xbox. You want to play Uncharted?
No, but what I mean
is I
didn't have a PlayStation. So I've got to get a PlayStation, so I'm playing Uncharted. Or the same for Gears of War. The thought of there being games out there that I can't play just because I don't have the console, to me seems illogical.
See, that's the different side of the fence. He's the different side of the fence to me, whereas I've made my choice and I live by my choice. That's my machine. That's the machine I have to play my games on. It's no. I might turn around and be like, oh, I want to play X, Y, or Z, but I'm kind of like, nah, I'm no fucking fussed because it's not on my machine. And I think for me, that's the way it is, you know. Whereas with you just buy the machines to play the games.
I couldn't make a decision one or the other. My decision would be which one first.
Yeah, and see, that's the way I was too. But I was wrecking my head. So
that's fair enough, you know. But the thought, like you say, that you've sold one console and then you suddenly think, but a game I really wanted to play is not out on the one I own. I had a rare day today, right? I had the whole day to myself, which is very rare, and to play, I just played Just Cause 3 most of the day. I love that. I just love being able to, you know, chill out, do nothing all day, and just play a game. It's like a day off for me. Yeah.
But that doesn't happen every weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was the exception today. I played about 6 hours of Just Cause 3, whereas, you know, Stuart would have more free time, like, to play the games, whereas, you know, I don't get that time. So for me, just having the spare time to play the game and not having any distractions, I play my Xbox One and my fucking head just be wrecked, you know.
Yeah.
So I just stuck it in and played it and enjoyed it. So that was one of the reasons why I just said, fuck it, I have too much shit.
Do you think it will help you with a pile of shame if you've now slimmed down the number of platforms you've got?
Yeah, because I know I won't play Tomb Raider and just don't have an Xbox One. So
it's fair enough. If you can live with it, I wish I could, but I know, you know, if I had one platform and there was a game I wanted that I couldn't own on that platform, I'm not making it sound like I'll have sleepless nights over it. It's not that bad, but I want to, all the games that I want to play, I want to be able to play, and if it just means buying another platform, then sadly that's what I'd do.
Yeah, well, I was like that too. But
you've seen the light.
Yeah, I just don't see the point. And you can, you know, you just have one console and that's it. You should just play the games on it. Because you end up not playing the fucking games then. You end up with a pile and you don't actually play the fucking games. At least Stuart plays his games.
There is that.
Do you know what I mean?
I like to think I play my games because they're there to be played.
Yeah, I mean, as I totted up my figures for this, you know, when we first started, you know, the revelation as I was going, because rather stupidly, you look at all of them and think, I will get to play these. One day, I will eventually get to play every one of these games. And you tot up the hours and you think, there are games that when I'm dead, I'll have never played. And I've bought them and I've spent money on them and I'll never play them. And you know, it seems ridiculous, but that is going to happen. Whether I like it or not, it is going to happen. So if only you could stealth.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset at the end of the night. Yeah. It's all about a mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a case of we may agree, we may disagree on what he did, and that's just the way it is. But at the same time, it's a case of if he's happy in the knowledge and he can sleep at night with a clean mind, then fair dues.
That's
to
it.
him,
I mean, last month it wasn't that I agreed or disagreed with you, Colm. Far from it. It was such a shift from, you've been very much like me. It's like there's all these games, and because there's all these games, I need to own all these platforms. And it was this slimming down that seemed quite out of the blue. You know, it wasn't as we were trying to tap it. Is it because you desperately wanted to play Uncharted or something? And it was just this kind of, I'm going to streamline everything I own because the light is shone, and I suddenly realise all these games is ridiculous. But no, I didn't think you made a bad decision or necessarily a good decision last month. It was just an out of the blue decision, should I say?
Yeah. Well, that's the way I just felt, so I just went with it.
And to be honest,
I'm happy because, you know, my head gets wrecked from all this shit.
In the long run, Colm, it's probably the more sensible way, and maybe in a few years' time that I'll have the epiphany, and that's what I'll be. But at the minute, console games and PC games are like Pokemon to me. Got to catch them all.
So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I say fair play to you, Stuart.
Thanks. I can't wait to the end and we talk up we've actually played through. That'll be interesting. The last show where we have completed 4 games. Well done, son. 4 games.
I think you're going to win that one, Stuart.
I don't know. Connor might give me a run for his money. Maybe. Till Metal Gear got him. But
so Matt, thoughts and feelings?
Like I say, Steam have got an autumn sale. I think it comes at the end of Thanksgiving or however it's strange.
Black Friday.
Yeah, I mean it could be that. Yeah,
Cyber
and
Monday.
I've avoided it, not because I thought I'd have been tempted, but it's been like, well, I can't buy anything, so what's the point? It's the same as going to a Ferrari garage and looking at all the lovely cars and thinking I can't buy one. But I had a look the other day, and there's so much that naturally new games appear on Steam all the time, and there's so much out there, and I didn't have a clue about them. I've withdrawn myself so much from this environment to try and stay strong for this challenge. I won't know where to start. When January the 1st comes, I'm not going to say I'm literally wandering into a virtual shop with fivers sticking out my ears or whatever, but I don't know now. I don't know what I'll spend. And because of that, I'll probably wait until I binge, because I will do. I'm not going to lie to myself. I will. But until stuff's on sale again, I'm not going to... there's stuff I've missed over this past year, but it's not. Because I've missed it already now. The desperation for it is past. I'd have loved to have played Destiny when that first came out, or The Witcher 3, or any of these games, but that's gone now. And now everybody else has moved on. So have I, to a certain element. So I'll just keep plugging away at the pile. It won't go down. I mean, it's gone up when I compared to what it was when I started and what it is now. It's gone up, and it always will go up. But we'll keep plugging on. We'll play games that nobody else is playing anymore, and multiplayer servers is dead. But as long as I enjoy the game, I'll enjoy the game. So yeah, that's where we are. So much. I've missed out on so much stuff that it almost feels like I've missed out on nothing. That didn't make any sense whatsoever. Too many Peronis this evening.
Box quote right there. This show was brought to you by Peroni. I think at the end of the day, the haters, who listen to me, you think I'm fucking down with the fucking kids. The fucking folk out there who listen to this who fucking don't like how we operate, tough shit. I think this year it's a case of we've all came here as a rag. Like I said, we were the ragtag regal year, and I think it's a case of we've all came with our own outlook on it, and it's a case of we've all got something different for doing it. I feel, and I think, like you say, Matt, yours has gone up, but you've now got a newfound appreciation for some titles, not all titles.
Tomodachi Life is ace.
See what I mean? There you go. You would never have played that if you wanted to.
Yes. Yeah, it's that kind of thing that you suddenly think that's the bit I've enjoyed most. The games I know I would have ignored. I'd never have sat down and thought, you know what? I'm in the mood for some Tomodachi Life.
I think on the last show we should do the Yoshi should be like an awards ceremony. Like, what was the most revelation of the year? What was the game you thought that you'd never play the year? What was your download? You know what I mean? We should do a wee awards style. We should do a Yoshi award. We'll pick a few categories, and if anybody listening's got a category or an idea for a category, you know what I mean, you should put it into us, because I think we should all kind of, because there's a few stuff this year I've played. There's a few stuff this year I've not played. We're now sitting in December, almost by one day, and I've still not played Portal 2. That is true. I've still not played Portal 2.
I thought you were meant to play that.
I was meant to play it.
You will not be disappointed. Phenomenally good game.
And I don't know whether I will play it now before the end, but I might play it before the end. I don't know. But Portal 2 was on the list to play, and we're now in 1 month to go, and I've still not played it. But then, in my defence, I thought it was going to go backwards compatible. The fuck did it go backwards compatible? But we few four take what we take for it, and that's what it is. And at the end of the year, there's stuff I've missed, and we'll buy it and we'll play it, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's the one thing as well. In last years, I've seen a lot of people like I know Colm did his fucking fire sale, but I know like 1 year, I think it was Darren get rid of all his physical for digital, which I think's a major thing as well. You know what I mean? I think it was a case of he traded in all his physical for digital versions of it, which was a bit mental. And I know they, in past years, they had like eBay accounts and whatever they flogged. Like what it was if they flogged a real version. I think it was if they flogged a real version and then the cash on the account, they were able to buy a digital version of it. And from what I hear, he's got very little physical media now. But then I'm not like that. I like looking at stuff. I like looking at a stack of comics, a stack of games, a stack of figures, a stack of whatever. I like looking at. You know what I mean? And then, like you say, you sit and you look at them and you go, oh, what are you going to do? I'm fucking getting that shit buried with me. You know what I mean? Fucking just stick it in the ground with me when the time comes, you know what I mean? Because ain't nobody going to... It's my enjoyment, you know what I mean? It's what somebody going to do with it. When I'm fucking dead and gone, they're going to take it down to CX and get fucking £4 for it. Oh, fuck that. Didn't date off for that. But, aye, we're getting a bit emotional here. It's a bit like Gears of War. We bit like Gears of War, we bit like Halo Reach. I'm holding back the tears to till the final episode. The final episode, which isn't next month. That's one after that, the autopsy episode. But aye, it's.
So what's your thoughts and feelings, Stuart?
My thoughts and feelings are actually a wee story. If you gather round and
round the campfire.
If you all gather round, I'll tell you a tale. The moon was high, and the wolves did howl on that moor that night when I went out on my steed, galloping like thunder and lightning, galloping all the way to deliver the message. I'd signed up to the Xbox Live preview code, which is a known thing, and there was a new dashboard coming, and I'd heard a few scare stories about the new dashboard. I heard that some people's machines reacted badly to it. It was a bit like a prototype virus. Some people died, some people evolved into something horrible, some people couldn't use functions on their machine, so I was not keen on accepting it. But as being a part of this program, I had the knife thrust upon me by Microsoft. They sent me 9 messages telling me that you're going to be put on the dash, you're going to be put on the dash soon, you're going to be put on the dash really soon, we're taking away preview games for you, we're going to put in the new dash. Long story short, I went on one day, had an update, hot click, fine and dandy, then I come back to my machine and my machine was blacked out the screen. I'm like, what the fuck? So I switched it off, switched it back on, and it had bricked my machine. This was all last month, but I told Connor I'd talk about it this month because obviously the dash has been out in the wild now for a wee while. But my machine had been bricked, and what followed was a hectic hear 'em, scare 'em, patch 'em, put 'em together, hope for God, online, find this, find that, download files to a laptop, to a memory stick, to put into my machine, to fucking reset the bastard, and oh, it was horrible, fucking horrible. Aye, it was a disgrace. The fucking dash had downloaded, and theoretically it bricked my machine, so I had to factory reset my machine, which is a really hard thing to do if you cannot get into the operating system of the machine to tell it to factory reset. So yeah, that took about 2 days to get it up and running and fixed.
What about all your saves and stuff?
I've got an external hard drive, so everything's on the hard drive. So that was the one saving grace. I've got 2.5 terabytes of games, and it was a case of to imagine having to re-download all that to the machine would, it's not worth imagining, you know what I mean? So it wasn't bad that way in that sense, but at the same time it just was, they could have did something better than how, I don't know. I think having my hand forced into a prototype, I know I signed up to the prototype program, but I didn't sign up to have my hand forced into this scheme, and I think it was poorly handled. And then, like I say, once it had bricked me, I was raging. So aye, so moral of the story, don't sign up to anything ever.
Wasn't there an option not to sign up to the new dashboard?
If you didn't want to sign up, you would get removed for the program. So
alright, okay, yeah.
I've had backwards compatibility since E3, and it's just an example of something the preview codes had that Joe Blogs in the street hasn't had. So we were able to backwards compatibility certain games for June, July time, whereas just the start of this month, the public, everybody got the ability to do it. You know what I mean? So I'm a bit wary, and in future I shall measure the success of these things and then see what happens, because it was a rather alarming and hesitant moment in my life was when my Xbox One bricked itself with a software problem, because unlike a hardware problem, I can send the machine back to a place or get the machine fixed, but with a software problem you're kind of fucked, you know what I mean? But there was a few videos, but not many videos online telling you how to do things, because once you downloaded the file to your stick, I didn't realise you had to unzip the file to put it on the stick, but then you had to format the stick into a special format. None of this is clear, you know what I mean? None of it's clear. But yeah, go me.
You got it sorted anyway.
I had it sorted for ages. It was just a case I felt like it's a bit sad. It was a bit emotional show. So putting in a wee sad tale there to the tail end to make people cry. And the only other thing, I know you said the seed blown up, but I was wanting to just highlight that Justin and Adam respectively had done their 24-hour streams. And I know you're sick of talking about it, Colm, but I think we should just acknowledge the boys and give them a wee nod.
Yeah.
I know you fucked off and were only seen for an hour or two.
I was on a dirty weekend.
That must have been good. But I shadowed Justin quite a bit. I think I watched him for about 6-7 hours at work, on and off. He was on all the time. It was just me clicking the window, and I think I stayed up till like 3:30 in the morning watching him.
I was on a promise.
So it was because I never saw you. I saw you when I come on at the end. I think I caught the last 2 hours or something. But
I was on before. I was on a few times.
I never saw you. If I don't see you, I don't believe it. But it was good for the boys today, and it's a thing I've always liked today, and it was a thing
you will do in the future.
It's
will you?
I probably will. We've spoke about it. I'm not telling you who the other folk are, but I've spoke about doing all the Halos back to back. It'll probably take about 3 days, maybe. Which could be a challenge. But the problem with me is it's getting a stream and stuff. My connection's not the best, and you really need a good connection to be able to run these things and stuff, and that's the downfall, you know what I mean? I can sit and play Halo all day long, but without a good internet connection you can't do fuck all with these things, you know what I mean? But probably at some point I'll probably do something stupid and do it. But I thought well done to the boys, and obviously I doffed my cap and put a few dollars more in both their pots, so I think Justin's got like £300 or something, so he's done well there. I don't know how much Adam's got actually, but I gave them. I think they're still open. If they're not still open, just PayPal them money or something. I don't know. Fucking talk to them. But you should definitely throw something their way. I believe. So yeah, just a well done to those boys. Slightly faster than slow clap. But yeah, that's my thoughts and films this week.
Good.
Woo.
Now we'll do the year shame interrogation. It's not Collie's confessions anymore. Fuck that shit.
I don't think there's much more you could confess, Colm.
No, I'm straight. Anyway. Okay, this is for Matt, because, you know, let's be honest, Matt seems to be a good boy.
I've done my best.
Yeah. So if you hadn't have moved house, how would the challenge have gone for you, Matt? Do you think you would have been more tempted? With all the stress of moving house and all that stuff? Or were you dedicated from day one?
I tried to be, just seen as the punishment of roasting plastic figures and my love of Skylanders. I think that sheer threat was the thing. To be perfectly honest, I mean, I don't know whether you guys, but I've enjoyed buying things. You know, that's why I've got a pile of shame the size it is. I've enjoyed buying things. Now, if I hadn't moved house, I'd have had more games to play, and I could have spoke more about what I've been playing and what I've been missing, etc., etc.
Would you have had more time?
I'd have had more time, because at the minute, if I have a day off work, back when I was in the old place, it would have been a day playing games, as you mentioned, Colm. In here, there's always stuff to do. So moving house, what that's involved is me spending money and getting that feeling of buying something on things that aren't games. So if I hadn't moved house, I'd have probably played more games. But moving house, I've had less time to play games, but I'm still getting that buying feeling, if that's sounds right.
Right,
So,
so
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think either way. I'm kind of stubborn. I'd have stuck to my guns. But I've now noticed if any of the last shows, I'm not even picking up the free stuff particularly anymore. Just because I'm getting that fix of owning something new or putting something new in other places.
A scratch. Scratching that itch.
Yeah, precisely. So, I'd like to think if I hadn't moved, I'd still be here having not spent a single penny on games. But you never know. I'm not going to be like that. There's times I've been tempted. There's been, times when I've been a bit bored or whatever. And you just think, that's on cheap or that's this. But so far, so good. And by staying away from it as much as possible, it's made it a bit easier. Will there be a binge in January? Maybe. But I think moving house has helped me. I don't feel like I'm not buying something, which is a terrible habit to be into anyway. But it's, the perfect thing you've just said there, Stuart. Scratching that itch. I'm doing that elsewhere. So
We all like to buy stuff.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's went from buying games to buying lampshades.
No, nothing so interesting as lampshades. It's with plasterboard and battens and...
You bringing a calendar?
No, it's just the way my trousers crease up.
At least you have a crease.
I don't know what to say to that.
For a minute there, I thought he said at least you've got a priest. What's that got to do with it?
It wouldn't surprise me if I came in with that shirt. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, but anytime, Colm.
It was a short Yoshi. The only other thing I'd like to add to it is, have you got your vast array of hardware and items? Have you got them all plugged in, or are they all still upon a box?
Unfortunately, my array of vintage consoles, there's never going to be put anywhere to put them. So as the wife said to me, well, if you're never going to get to play them, why don't you sell them? Ooh. It was a very short conversation.
Somebody swiping the garbage that night.
Again, I'm looking at those consoles and I'm contradicting myself. Those consoles, they're never going to get played again, or the chances are so slim. But the thought of getting rid of them, so I definitely never could play the game. I can't bear that. In my mind, still at some stage, they will all come out, and every game I've owned for them will get played. Ridiculous, I know.
You've been burnt at a point, haven't you? Because you sold all your SNES stuff.
Yes, yeah. The Neo Geo travesty, when I sold everything to get one of those, I think has put me off selling consoles for life. I only sold one recently, a PS2, because the multi-tap I bought for it didn't fit. And it was actually cheaper to get the PS2 model that did fit the multi-tap I owned than to buy the right multi-tap for the PS2 I owned. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that will happen eventually. But, yeah, I'm still deluding myself that all the games and everything I own at some stage will get played.
It's for the wins. It's for the wins. They'll get into it. You know what I mean? History lessons.
Yeah, exactly.
101.
My legacy. A load of plastic junk that won't plug in anymore.
Know the right TV. Try and use that zapper.
Exactly.
Oh wait, that it's not happening. See, that's one thing. I kept a CRT TV just in case. So that was I've got a wee 50-inch combo. It's a case of the zapper. Is it the zapper or is the zapper on the Sega Master System, isn't it?
I think.
Aye, so I can play Operation Wolf. It's further down the line. A fucking awesome game. But I've had the same kind of argument with my girlfriend about my collection of Halo stuff. She's not a fan. So
yeah, I mean, because the house we used to live in was massive. There was space for it. Here there isn't. So even if I wanted it, I know to myself I can't put it anywhere. I've stopped, I've now got into that kind of physical digital argument with myself because I love physical, like looking at a shelf full of games and that I think is an appealing thing. But I don't have room for shelves anymore. So now I mean, Steam is all digital anyway, but even for the consoles now, it's going to look more digital future.
Do you know you use your wardrobe?
There's all the sexy lingerie that I have in there for a Tuesday night. There's no room for games.
See, I've got a Narnia style concept. This concept is an actual thing right now. If you open my wardrobe, in behind all my coats is a wall of Xbox 360 games for the bottom to the top.
See, I find that quite appealing, but if I describe that to one of my kids, they think that was a little bit shit.
Yeah, I'd get I just did it because it was room, because I was like, it's never done. You can, I think it's like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 rows, weigh about maybe what 50 or 60 a row, a 360 and Xbox One games, and it's just storage. It's like storage that would never get used, but it's also a cool thing when you open the doors and take the coats out and you see all the games.
So when you open the doors and take all the coats out, then that's a cool thing.
But then you think to yourself at night, in the middle of the night, when you're looking at the ceiling, you think, see if the house burns down, they're fucked. It's like,
you
I
need
can't
a
save
fire
them.
exit in your games. A little lever you can pull and they all go down a little slide into the garden.
I was thinking of lead lining the wardrobe just to make it bomb-proof, just in case. Just padlock it, never get near it. Coats in there for years. But no, that was just a top tip there, where to store games if you don't have game storage. It's also quite cool for showing people, because when people come over, you're like, have a look in the back, and they slide it and they're like, oh. But aye, random but true.
I used to store mine in the back of the wardrobe. There was a slot in where the old wardrobe used to be, and I used to throw. I'd come home from game and I'd throw them in there, and nobody, well, Sandra would know because she'd see the look on my face, like, you know. But she'd since got a built-in wardrobe, so that's done away with that crap.
A lot of wardrobe chat going on here, boys. Can we move on swiftly? I don't like where we're going.
Okay, so we were just, you know, as usual, I got the day wrong, or usually get the tweet wrong or something like that, but I thought for some reason that was last night, and, you know, stupid me, but there you go. And
I like how you put the questions in, but not people that ask the
have we
questions.
asked ourselves these questions, Colm?
Kevin fuck off. Kevin Atkinson.
Oh, I've been baiting you to tell me to fuck off.
I said we're recording tonight, which was,
and then I came back and said,
and he said
tomorrow,
you
Sunday.
dumbass. Yeah, the Muppet got it wrong. And Kevin Atkinson was the only one, because he was fraud.
That just shows you the popularity of this cast is just diminished.
You know, sometimes we get better. First off, congrats on making it this far. Presume he doesn't mean me and that. Hope you make it through Christmas. And the question is, out of all the games due between now and the end of the year, what will you miss not getting most? So, Matt.
I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know what's coming out this Christmas. That's how much I've dragged myself away. I mean, so I'll talk. The game I have probably missed the most this year. I'd have loved to have played Destiny. I fully understand why people have.
Destiny came out last year.
Yeah,
I did, didn't it? But that's right.
It.
But I didn't pick it up because I thought to myself, I'm on this Year of Shame challenge, and if the sort of game Destiny is, I'll end up playing that the whole time and nothing else. So alright, a game that came out, bloody hell, picky.
I'm just saying it. It's just a factual fact, because somebody out there, all of the 4 listeners will moan and be like, but Destiny, well, technically year 2, so you could argue you've no played Destiny year 2.
What did I miss this year?
Do you want me to rhyme some off the top of my head? Borderlands, Handsome Jack Collection, Zombie Army Trilogy, Batman,
do that one.
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh yes, Mortal Kombat X.
Witcher, Project Cars,
Lego,
Jurassic Park,
Dimensions,
Lego Dimensions,
yes. and the Skylanders. Plastic figures.
Skylanders, Turbo Force,
whatever it does. I haven't looked at it, but oh god, yes. No, but Lego Dimensions, seriously. Until I looked at the starter pack, because my little lads are in on it. I thought, I'll get him the starter pack for Christmas. It'll be for him. He'll play that.
90
and
quid.
Then, 80 quid. I think not.
Fuck that, yeah.
I mean, why am I going to buy someone that old something that's that expensive? Idiot! I'll buy that for me.
Because when he gets older, you'll be getting bloody expensive stuff.
Yeah.
They get smaller, the presents, but they get more expensive.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That shit. My young fella's getting a fucking smartwatch this year.
How much?
Why?
The only thing that's appealing about smartwatch is so I can pretend I'm Dick Tracy.
I couldn't be arsed.
I wouldn't pay you for a smartwatch. I'd pay you for a real watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck that. It's a waste of money.
I know.
But you're still buying them.
Do you have to trade in your PS4 to buy them?
I was going to say that.
You'd all be huddled around the smartwatch now playing games.
Trying to play Flappy Bird.
Is this co-op?
So, Stuart, what have you missed?
What have I missed this year?
What are you missing? What would you, if what would you run out tomorrow to get?
If the shackles were torn, or shackles, I'd like to have. Wouldn't mind Metal Gear. Wouldn't mind Batman. Project Cars as well would have been nice.
These are all games you would have got, would they?
Aye, yeah. These are games I'm trying to think. See, Fallout 4, because Fallout 4 fever's rife in the world. COD. I know I said COD last month, but you know what I mean.
You've bought every COD since.
I've got every COD that's ever been on the Xbox, but the new one. If I'll be honest, if I had to buy one game tomorrow that I've no got, it'd be Transformers Devastation.
Brilliant.
It would be. It's the one game this year.
What about Godzilla?
I can't play that. I've not got a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, shit.
I want to play Godzilla just so I can look at the box. No, Transformers Devastation, because it's just the game I want.
So much nostalgia.
I like Transformers. I was a kid at the time, and it's cool. And having watched Justin play it, I'm sure he mentioned it, but I watched it and I said to him, "Fuck, I kind of wanted this game. No, I really want this game because it's just what it is." Yeah. And hopefully, Santa Claus, my brother, has had my order in because it was cheap at game last week. And I think it's like £20 now for some places. Brilliant. So I put in my order with Santa Claus, Mark 2. For Christmas, so hopefully he'll be able to fulfil that quota. But
do you think now, after doing your YoS challenge, like, because it was well known that you were a day one man sort of thing, you'd buy 2 or 3 games in a week or whatever if it was a particularly good week. But do you think now that after in next year that you will probably wait for the games to come out, a couple of weeks or a couple of months before they go down in price, or will you?
I think, it's a weird one because it's a general thing as well. I've spoken about how I like middle of the road games, like games that are like Metal Gear, Fallout. They're all good in that, but I prefer like my Transformers Devastation, my Deadpool. You know what I mean? Yeah. My Saboteur, Just Cause 3. You know what I mean? Games that are like. Games that folk don't really give a fuck about, but I really enjoy. I think I'll still pull the trigger on stuff like that. Yeah. But I think like top tier stuff, I probably hold off for unless it's like something major, like Halo or Gears of War. Like example would be like Tomb Raider. Yeah. Would have bought Tomb Raider day one. It's a hard one because it came out like the same week as Fallout and stuff, didn't it? Yeah. I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have bought Fallout day one.
Right, yeah.
But that's me. I've gone back. I would probably have bought Mortal Kombat day one. Maybe would have bought Batman day one as well. But there is some stuff like Assassin's Creed. I wouldn't buy it. There's a few things. It's an interesting one. Like
have you ever bought Assassin's Creed day one?
No,
nice.
I haven't.
Nice. Yeah.
I've always bought them prior, usually about Christmas time.
Right. Yeah.
Usually in the Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday. But it's a case of like, I'm trying to think. It's like looking forward to next year. It's like the only thing I can think of buying, like when the challenge ends, depending what Santa Claus brings me, I'll probably buy Rainbow Six and I'll probably buy The Division, and that's about it, I think, for the foreseeable.
Yeah. When's The Division coming out?
Easter.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's a fair bit off, and Rainbow Six is out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I don't see much else coming that's going to grab me and make me go buy me. But we'll see when the shackles are off. Only time will tell.
Cool. Thanks, lads.
It'll be nice. I was going to say it'll be nice to actually be able to take pictures of computer games again. That's one thing I've missed this year. Every time I used to get a game in the post, I used to take a picture of it and put it on Twitter. I've not fucking done that forever. Or for a year.
Excellent. Brilliant. Okay. Thanks, lads. I see the fireworks didn't go on for the duration.
No. I was saying, apart from some shrapnel and walking with an odd limp, still here.
Your fence is on fire as well. It's
okay. Thanks, lads. And Matt, where can people find you?
At math_G on Twitter, and hanging around with odd-looking Santa Clauses in shopping centres.
Fucking ass, man. Stuart?
You can find me at FuryAC3 on the Twitters and on Xbox Live and any of that sort of thing.
Midlife Gamer?
Yep. Been quiet this month. Though Iron and Fate, I got offered to review Star Wars, I think. So I might be reviewing Star Wars. So theoretically I would have ended up with Star Wars maybe after all if I hadn't bought it, but who knows. But yeah, midlifegamer.net, a few reviews up and stuff, nothing major at the moment, but only time will tell if anything new. It's getting to that point of the year, but where the arse was at the industry, you know what I mean? Everybody's getting ready to pack up and head home for driving home for Christmas. And again, on the sun as well, but again, if fucking the other industry's drying up, the fucking driving industry's fucking bone dry just now. So interesting comments about Codemasters shutting down every studio that isn't focused on driving games. So we'll see what the new year holds for them. Listen to me, we're just in the start of December, but yeah, you can find me there anyway. Bit of rambling there.
Well, Codemasters weren't any good shooters anyway.
Well, Codemasters were making Overlord. They were making the new Overlord. So
were they? Oh,
yeah, but that studio's been shut. I think it was Codemasters Malta.
Okay.
So who knows? But anyway, I was going to say as well, to intervene there, because we won't see you before it, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And I hope everybody has a Happy New Year.
Yes.
Because we'll probably not have an episode until January now, after this one.
Yeah.
I think when you think about it, you know what I mean?
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day at 8:30. Not a day sooner. This will be your Christmas present for us.
Classic.
But yeah, just to everybody listening, all 9, 10. I hate when podcasts do that, but to all the listeners, I hope you have a good Christmas. Hope Santa's good to you. I hope you get everything you want. And we all wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yep.
See if there's an episode out between this, I'll look like a right tit, but it'll probably only happen.
It's not gonna happen, man. Alright, and you can find me at Solom67, usually tweeting the wrong days of the week, and usually from the wrong account, and God only knows. You can find the Gmail account, I've forgotten about that. And yeah, good night, lads. Good night.
One last thing, if you have got any suggestions for awards we could award for anything in the last 11 shows, obviously show 12's coming, but in the last of the year so far, is there any awards you as the listeners would like to put forward to us? And also, if you have any New Year's resolutions that you think any of the boys, me, Colm, Connor or Matt should do, why not get them into us as well? I think we could have a laugh with them, because I think we should all come up with a New Year's resolution for each other. But if the listenership have any choices as well, I think you should get them in, as well as your Yoshi awards. We'll make some kind of melted statue in gold and we'll actually award them to the people who win. But yeah, any Yoshi nominations or concepts for winning, get them into us, and any New Year's resolutions for yourselves or for us. Well, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Say goodbye, lads.
Bye.
Catches.
We'll be right back.